chill music here. Wow, I can't spell with my fingers. Somebody did a Ravenloft journey stream. I don't know what that is. Let's take a look. Ooh, let's see if this works on the old Discord. All right. I'll just loop it for right now. Nice eerie music. Is everybody ready to go? We're ready to play some D&D? Maybe to get anything off their chest first?
Ryles rips off his chest hair, throws it on the ground.
Ow! I think we we started in the village of Barovia, right? That's where we ended. So this is where we should probably start. You guys had you'd killed poor priest Donovich's cursed son who'd been turned into a vampire. Buried him.
Well, we didn't do it. As
Rob, you did that.
Yeah, you did that, Rob.
that was the royal we.
Okay.
It's your fault for bringing her along. She was extremely helpful in that fight against vampire thrall that you guys didn't really want to kill. And then you were attacked by hags. Messed you up a bit, but you managed to kill one and drive them off again. But not before they had kind of like vowed revenge. And that night, as you guys rested, they invaded your dreams, giving some of you nightmares, interfering with your ability to recover from your injuries and regain some strength the next day. It's now the morning, and you guys have gone over to the Blood on the Vine Tavern to get some breakfast because someone was obsessed with breakfast last game and wanted to go to this place at like 4 a.m. to see if they would, do Uber Eats.
We waited till like 8 before we went.
Yes, you waited. You were patient. You waited till the crack of dawn, and then you went to this place and discovered that they don't even serve breakfast or lunch or dinner, just booze.
Boo.
And
they are like Motel 8, though. They leave a light on.
Yeah, they are like Motel 8. They do. The only light in Barovia. Don't worry, we'll leave the light on.
Is it Motel 8?
Or no, it might be Motel 6.
Okay.
I don't know, guys.
Okay.
It's been a while.
That's fine.
I was having. Yeah, I was having a Mandela effect moment for a second. Like I was like, wait, I'm really glad you said something right now.
Tom Bodine from Motel 6. It's Motel 6. Not Motel 8.
Oh,
Motel 6.
sorry.
Okay.
It's the original. Motel 8 came later.
Things are bougie by me.
Barovia's Motel 6 is open. And it's open all the time, and all they got is shitty booze. They've been running low because they haven't gotten their supply recently from Wizards of Wine. It's supposed to go through Vallaki and make its way here, but Vallaki is sucking up all the good stuff and not sending it on. You talked to a couple folk here, but they were not especially useful or informative. You did notice, though, that this place seemed to be kind of run by Vistani, although they seemed like Vistani who had maybe left the people, left the tribes, and settled down in this place. You don't really know what their story is, but they're a little odd. This whole place is a little odd, dark, and in the morning, as you guys are kind of like wandering around the mists, outside the tavern, nobody seems to come in here to get their morning, breakfast of booze. At least not yet. Are you guys planning on sticking around the village of Barovia, doing any more investigating here, or are you getting out of here? And if so, where are you going?
I still need a long rest.
Yeah, so let's go to the Vistani camp where Manamima can keep the hags away.
Are we bringing I can't remember her name, but the girl with us?
Esmeralda?
Was it? No, Myrtle.
Oh,
I
no,
think we
was it
decided to
Myrtle?
leave them.
yeah,
both.
she's in the church and freaks with his parents.
Yeah, that's Myrtle.
Yeah.
Myrtle was left at with Donovich at the church.
Okay.
He's got no son in the basement to eat her anymore. And he seemed like he was a good guy, but just suffered
Broken.
some tragedy. He was a little bit broken.
So now we can raise a daughter and not get this one get bit by vampires.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure everything would turn out just fine.
Oh,
That's what Esmeralda said. She's like, don't worry, things will be fine here. And you guys believed her. You
If they're not fine, they'll just come back and stab his other kid.
laughed.
oh.
Esmeralda pats you on the back. See, you're getting it now.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Don't fix the solution, or don't make a solution. Just just kill the symptoms as they show up.
Kill the symptoms as they show up. That's one way to deal with it. All right. So it sounds like you guys are leaving town. I'm going to put... you guys had met Eric the barkeep here. He's the one that you guys had talked to, and I'll put his little token up so you can see.
Yeah, Eric and I were homies.
Yeah.
Eric liked my jokes.
It did. All right. You leave the Blood on the Vine Tavern, head up back into the square of the village of Barovia. You see one like old lady kind of in the road who looks your direction and kind of hustles off. You know, wherever she's going, you don't know. But she doesn't seem to want to hang out with newcomers like you. Weirdos. He's got 6
Oh, wait,
fingers
I
on
got
every
that.
hand. That's weird.
She hustles off from.
She hustles off. I need to find a really dark version of that song. Or just someone...
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, somebody just put it in one of those AI generators and have like,
Well,
I don't know.
I'm sure there's something on YouTube.
Oh, Dark Hustle.
Rob doesn't
I'm
know how to
sure
use
there
that.
is. YouTube. I'm here right now. I know how to do a search.
I'm here. I'm on the YouTubes, guys.
I'm on the YouTubes, guys. Look at this. I'm doing a search. Let's see.
Where are
is
we
there an
going next?
Evil version.
G-dubs.
You're just gonna make me do Google searches. I'm not gonna look. It's gonna be crazy. I'm gonna find some weird stuff I don't want to see. I believe you guys are leaving town, right? Let's go back.
Yeah.
to the
Where are we
big map.
going?
We're going to the camp to long rest.
Boring.
Camp is over at Sir Pool. You guys are the village of Barovia. Taking the road back the fastest way. It's about 4 miles to get there. It's going to take you probably about an hour and a half or so. Everybody, roll d20 for me.
Is that 315 to the
4.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that should be something.
Yeah,
That's
Rob,
not-
make it something.
Something good. Because it's a triple. Triple's
Something good?
Something
We
Tell you
good.
what,
15
Good things
what,
happen in
earlier.
Barovia.
I feel like the bones are speaking to us here. The Nazoth with that too makes me happy as well. As you are passing by the crossroads here, you leave the village of Barovia. You cross the Ivlis River over one of the bridges in this region. Head kind of along the road that takes you through the forest. There is a crossing here that you guys have come to before. The last time you were at this crossing, you had noticed that there was a small graveyard to the southeast, like right over here, right off the road. You'd seen that there was like a fresh grave that was dug there. And as you're passing by it, you notice that that grave seems to have been disturbed. All the dirt that was sort of on top of it has been pulled away and is like kind of scattered. There's a divot in the center, as if something was dug out of it or something dug itself out. You don't see anybody around at the moment.
You guys, we could sleep here. Somebody else just was. Might still be warm.
I didn't think so.
I don't think that'll help.
I see no problems with this plan.
That's nice. Really get a good rest. heard the ground temperature is always like 60 degrees. That's good for sleeping.
I feel like that's like gonna make it any more comforting than it actually
Maybe
is.
there's a pillow in there. Let me go look.
You go look, there's no pillow. There's not even a coffin in there. It's just like a grave that somebody had dug. It's just earth. The hole itself is maybe 3 or 4, maybe 3 feet deep. Maybe not full depth, or if there is, I mean, it's possible that there is a coffin maybe deeper underneath the earth. Can't see, but you don't see one from the top.
I jump in the hole.
All right, boom! You're now in the nasty dirt. There's worms
Garrison,
kind of crawling around here.
What are you
You're
doing?
getting yourself a little muddy because it's always a little bit humid and rainy. in Barovia.
What if there's treasure? What if somebody was burying treasure and then they ran away? You never know. He starts digging a little bit with his hands in the dirt.
All right. He went digging in the dirt. Let's see if there is anything here. Oh, check something out here. You start digging. Are you trying to dig down deep enough to see if there's like a coffin? If there would, it would probably be another couple feet down. It might take
Another
you some time
couple
to do
feet
this.
underneath the feet that were unearthed. Damn. No, I wasn't thinking
Yeah,
feet. I was
it's only about 2 feet deep. But like if this is regular coffin,
thinking it was
coffin
3.5
depth,
feet.
okay, 3.5 feet. But a regular coffin depth is like 6 feet. That's what they say, 6 feet under. Because if you
All right,
bury
I
anything
will
more
go-
shallow than that, it sometimes gets dug up.
I will go to my height, which is probably about 6 feet.
All right.
And I will check my inventory to see if I have anything helpful. And I don't. Anybody have a shovel?
No.
No.
Alright, well, I have a shield on my back, so I'll use this, because I don't use it for anything else. He just starts using the shield to dig.
All right. You guys stop, and you have to wait here for a while as Garrison is intent on digging into this grave.
Garrison, I'm tired.
About a half an hour passes. Just dug down maybe another half foot or so, maybe a foot. No sign of anything yet. Keep digging.
The longer we stay here, the more likely something's gonna come find us out here. We
Well,
should really
if
get
you
going.
would help, we could get it going
There's
faster.
no need to.
What if there's
This
treasure
is-
down here?
Bimothy, I want to go to sleep. Help him.
See?
He's
There
not
we
gonna
go.
leave until we're done here.
Oh,
Get in.
okay.
The dirt's nice.
Go in and help Garrison.
Thank you. And I can go.
All right. You guys dig for another half an hour. Everybody roll another d20 for me.
Oh.
Yes, Bimothy, more 15s.
And another 2.
All right. Luckily for you guys, nothing else happens here. But eventually, you dig down deep enough where you find bits of little bits of ripped clothing. You feel like you've found where like the bottom of this grave was, and it doesn't seem like anybody used a coffin. But there's a little bit of like clothing down here, and there's this smell of rotting flesh. But there's no body here. You feel like you found where the body was, but there is no body.
Well, nobody's home. Here, Bimothy, let me give you a boost. Let's get out of here. Waste of my time. Ridiculous.
I could have told you it was a waste of time earlier.
You know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Bim. I went.
Okay.
How else do you
all right.
interact with the environment without going into the hole there, Robin?
You guys leave?
Yes, we make haste to the village so my team can nap because they are sleepy poos.
All right. You head off the side road towards Sir Pool, where you know the Vistani have their camp. About 30 minutes later, maybe less than that, maybe about 20 minutes later, you guys come within sight of it. You can hear a little bit of music playing. They're up a little bit early. one of these few places in Barovia that doesn't seem to be affected by the doldrums like everywhere else. And you are welcome back into the camp when some of the Vistani at the edge notice you coming up the path. Welcome, come in, yes. We knew that you would return. A little bit worse for wear, I think, though, right? Come, do you need breakfast? I'm told that you'll be looking for breakfast.
Jareth.
Yeah, breakfast. Let's go.
I'm here for some waffles.
I'll make a
No waffles,
Ah.
But we do have some potatoes.
Sausage?
I think Ryles really needs some potatoes. He's been drinking that bottle of wine the whole walk here.
Oh, really?
It's a lot.
Is he really been
Absolutely
drinking like morning
sloshed.
drinking the whole morning?
Yeah, I mean, he started early. He was like, what's a liquid
Oh,
breakfast?
you were drunk before you left, weren't you?
Yeah.
All right.
He's small, so it doesn't take much. And
All right,
wine's
give
strong.
yourself the poison condition here.
Okay.
You've been morning drinking.
I've been morning drinking. I'm hungover. That's why you
The
didn't help.
Vistani, they welcome you in. They give you some potatoes. They do have some sausages. They don't tell you what they're made from. They tell you that they are blood sausages, and they kind of chuckle at that. Would you like some? We have some eggs too.
Ooh, yummy.
You're welcome back into their camp. They ask, what happened to you? What did you do with the girl?
She's
Well,
with the. Yeah. Yeah, well, exactly.
You avoid the
she's
question.
safe. She is, I guess, an orphan, but she is in a church.
Yes. A church. That is a good place. A good place for good souls to go.
Yeah.
Yes, she was one of the rare few. The boy, not so much. Come sit. The fire is burning. We have music we are playing. Perhaps you can teach us some new songs or some jokes, huh?
Yeah. No, I'm really drunk right now. Never mind.
That is the best time to be telling jokes and to be singing.
You're right. You're funny. You should do stand up. I think here's a funny joke. So a little man lays down, and then Ryles lays down and takes a nap by the fire.
Yeah. That sounds good. And Gretchen lies down and goes to sleep.
All right.
He's like, Ryles is eating potatoes like on the floor.
Some of you had gotten a little bit of rest, and some of you didn't. Now that you're here at the camp, they seem to think that it's a little bit almost like it's entertainment time for them. Like it seems like they knew you'd be coming back. They give you some bedrolls if you don't have them. Some warm wine to help you get to sleep if you need it. And you don't see Madame Viva. She remains in her tent, but the rest of the folks seem to be maybe following her instructions to take care of you.
Yeah, give me the wine.
Aren't you fortified enough at this point?
No, you can't stop me. You can't.
Keeps waking up and then going back to sleep. I don't know if that's good or not.
Other than getting rest here, the Vistani don't seem to have. I mean, they trade stories with you. They ask you like where are you going next, and mostly kind of just leave you to your business. Esmeralda is also here with you, of course, and she doesn't really talk to any of them, and they kind of shun her a little bit too. And she ends up kind of at the edge of their camp, making her own little sort of pallet to get some rest. She didn't get much sleep the night before either, having kind of stayed up to tend to those that she could. The day passes. Those that didn't get that long rest eventually do. And you feel better probably by around dinner time. However, those hit points that you guys had lost from those that had suffered the nightmares and failed that and took that sort of damage, that does not get restored after a long rest. So if you're down hit points from that event, you are still down.
All right.
Am I still poisoned, or have I sobered up yet?
You have a major headache that night, but you're no longer poisoned.
Okay.
Do I
You
still
now have the
recover-
hungover condition.
Do I recover exhaustion even if I took that effect of whatever that thing was?
Yeah, the exhaustion is separate from the hit point loss. So if you had a level of exhaustion, you will recover one of those two. Anything that you guys plan on doing while you are here?
So when Garrison wakes up from this, still feeling like garbage, I think he's gonna go over to Madame Bastani and see if there's anything that she can do about what ails him.
Go to who?
Oh,
Madame
Garrison, you're.
Bastani.
Her name's not Madame Bastani. It's Madame
What's her face?
Madame Eva?
Eva.
Eva.
That's what it.
You want to go to Madame Eva over in her tent, right?
Well, in the, like after we rest and he like wakes up and he's still feeling a little bit not great, he's gonna go explain kind of what happened and see if there's anything she can do about his not feeling greatness.
Are you hungover too, Garrison?
I don't know. This doesn't feel like a hangover. Well, kind of, but it's like a hangover that might never go away.
Yeah, I've got that too.
Do both of you head over there? You can. I mean, maybe you see him heading towards Madame Eva's tent.
Yeah.
All right. There's a Vistani that sits out front, kind of like guarding the tent. When they see you coming, though, they kind of stand up and they pull the flap aside to allow you to enter. They don't say a thing. They don't say that that you're expected or anything, but they just open the tent to allow you inside. And as you come in, you find, of course, Madame Eva is in her tent again. She's got like this crystal ball on the table. She seems to be sort of meditating or something. She's kind of humming to herself. Her eyes are closed.
Madam Eva, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
You are not interrupting.
You guys are talking so loud.
Don't shush, Madam Eva. That's rude.
I was shushing you.
Welcome back to the camp.
Oh, thanks. We kind of need your help after taking a rest. I kind of feel like not so great.
Yes.
You got any remedies? Maybe like an herbal remedy. Maybe we could smoke this tent out. You, me, and Ryles here.
Oh, I like that.
I gave up my smoking days long ago. But I can help you. When last you were here, you seemed intent on ignoring my advice, though.
I ignore much advice. It's kind of like one of my drawbacks.
I know, right? You'd think it'd be me.
I cannot dig you out of trouble every time you find yourself walking into it, especially if I have given you a warning. But I will help you. Perhaps you have seen the error of your ways. Perhaps now you'll be more cautious here in Barovia.
Madam Eva, you have no idea how right you are. I am never drinking again.
I don't know if I think you need to roll like a deception check there, but I'm not sure if you did.
Yeah,
Does he believe
he's
it right
very,
now?
like he believes it, but
You don't need to roll one then. Like,
No,
you're-
it's just like that hungover where you like insist that you're never drinking again, but you know you will.
I can't remember. Did Ryles also get hit by this hit point loss thing?
No, not at all. He's just
You're just
he's
there looking
literally
for
just
a
drunk and hungover.
I
Yeah,
think it's
yeah.
just Gretchen and Garrison.
Yeah.
Was anyone else hit other than?
I think it was just Gretchen and Garrison.
Pretty sure it was just them because I didn't.
You slept great.
He says, I do have some magic that I can use to help you. These fiends that you encountered, they have stolen a small part of your soul, holding it for themselves. This spell can pull it back, but it has a cost.
What kind of cost?
Cost in gold
I don't even know what I'm
or
asking.
diamonds.
Perfect. We've got
Or
a prince.
something of value.
You want a prince?
Is he made of gold?
His hair is.
Yeah, he's shiny.
Interesting. You know, for a lock of his hair, I will do this.
Cool. Does it have to be like given to you with intent, or can you just have it? Will that just work out? Like if I
You
just
put
take
it in my hand. However you acquire it, that matters not.
Cool. Hair grows
Does
back.
Does it have to be Jareth's golden hair, or is it any prince's hair?
How many princes do you know?
Do you
Ryles?
know another prince?
Well, technically, like Ryles is a prince. He just never talks about it, but it is in his backstory.
Come here, Ryles. And he cuts off Ryles' hair.
Yeah. Here, take my hair and hair of the dog. I don't know.
Yeah, eat this. That's
There's a
good for
joke
you.
there. Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
she said.
Ryles put some hair in his mouth.
You cut off some of Ryle's hair, and did you actually do that?
Yeah.
She says, some of your hair, I can help you, yes.
Cool. Yeah.
A little
Here's some of my hair. Consensual.
Ryles, who knew you were made of gold? This is great.
Yeah.
She pulls out
Well, it looks more like
some
bronze, but-
shears that look like sort of the shears you would use like to shear a sheep. And moves
Not all
towards you.
of it.
Kind of steps up from the table.
Get a good healthy
Just don't
chunk.
get the mullet part. Get a chunk from the side.
No, I will not leave you disfigured. Do not worry. She
Okay.
kind of grabs a chunk of your hair and snip. And now you have a little kind of, not like a bald spot, but like a spot on the side of your head that doesn't look quite right. She takes this
I
this
can't see
fluff.
right now, so I'm like, all right.
She takes some
Ryles is-
fluff and Garrison, you see her kind of stick it in a cup and take a little bit of wine and pour some wine over it. And then she says, here, and she taps Ryle's hand and puts the cup in your hand. You must drink the entire thing. Hair and all.
Oh,
Drink
okay.
your own hair.
When was the last time you
sure,
took
he
a
was,
shower?
Yeah. Well, no, he prestidigitation some kind of often. Like I assume, like I say it kind of often that he does clean himself. He's kind of picky, but he was drunk, so it's gross hair.
It
It's
is.
like,
Probably got a
yeah,
little bit of dirt
greasy.
and road mud in it.
Yeah, yeah. But
Those
yeah,
are
he knocks it back.
flavor-enhancing.
All right. You drink a hair shot, and the wine that she gives you is pretty, it's more like vinegar. You're not sure where she got this thing. It does not taste good, and your hair is kind of hard to swallow as well. Very, very gritty.
You ever had like a hair in your mouth that you like is really annoying?
Yeah.
It's like that, but like times 20.
Now wash it down with vinegar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hear a few arcane words from her as she casts a lesser restoration on you and wipes away your hangover.
Oh yeah. All right.
And she turns to Garrison and she says, your condition will need a bit more true prince's hair. Or gold or jewels.
I think I have gold. How much gold do you want?
250.
No, that's too much.
Ah,
A lot
is
of
your
it.
soul worth so little?
Only part of it, maybe.
It's a part that you will not get back without my help.
Can I replace it with somebody else's?
No.
Damn it. Well, I don't have that much.
I cannot do that for you.
Maybe my soul doesn't matter that much. I'm gonna have to talk to somebody. It's
Go
just-
talk to your
it's too-
prince.
Yeah,
I'm sure that he can afford the cost.
yeah, he might not like that though. Maybe I can just sneak up and get it. All right, I'll be back. Kinda. Thanks for the help. This feels weird to me now. Bye. And he leaves it there.
Farewell. All right. You know what the cost is that she's asking to sort of fix you. Gretchen also has this the same sort of debilitating effect. I think it's just the two of you. Gretchen wasn't there for this, right? Like she's unaware that
No.
Garrison's gone to this meeting. All right. So what do you guys do? Garrison, do you
Let's
do
shave
you
the
try to
prince.
fleece the prince, or do you have
Fleece
some other
the-
idea?
Hey, Ryles, do you know where the prince is?
Do I? Yeah,
He's probably with,
He's having breakfast.
Still eating.
Yeah, he's having. No,
This
where
is
he?
dinner time now. This
What?
Is
Oh wow. Well, then I'm eating dinner.
It's been they rested. Like there was a long rest involved here.
Yeah.
Jareth has probably been spending time with the folk here. He was,
Dancing.
I think, singing with him and dancing with him, and like he's been making friends with him.
Alright, so this is how we're gonna do this, alright, Ryles? I'm gonna casually ask the prince for some of his hair. And if he just laps it off and says no, then you're gonna distract him and I'm just gonna cut it off, okay?
Okay, that's a good plan B. Yeah, let's do good cop, bad cop first.
Yeah, well I said I was just gonna ask first. But
Yeah,
if
yeah.
he,
Yeah.
But if all
We
of a
could
sudden things don't turn my way, just you distract him with some kind of good joke or a dance, and while he's looking, I'll just gah.
He's a tough crowd, but I got it. And Ryles is like writing down. He's like, elf, something there.
Some
There's
tree
something there.
jokes.
Ears, druid,
Did hair of the dog? You have that going for us. Come on,
Yeah,
I need
that
you
was a
here,
good
buddy.
one.
I need you.
I'm locked in. Ryles is like, he's not really paying attention to surroundings at all anymore now. He's just locked into thinking about jokes.
All right, you guys approached Jareth. He's hanging out with Vistani. Tell me how you do this.
Good afternoon, Your Highness. How's your night going?
Why are you acting so weird, Garrison?
What do you mean? I always act like this.
No, you're more confident and your voice is more tempered.
I'm not sure. Just like, did you know that your hair looks great and your face has a wonderful complexion against the firelight over there?
Well, yes, the Peverells have always had gold skin with platinum blonde hair.
Those are good things. You know, I've never asked you for anything before.
What do you want?
Oh, just a small, like, there's things that you can't get back. And, well, this is something you could get back. Could I have some of that hair of yours?
For what?
I don't know.
Who's asking for it?
Well, apparently it's worth 250 gold or more. And I figured since yours will just grow back, you would just give me some.
Who says it's worth 250 gold?
It's only a clump of it. I'm sure your whole head's probably worth lots.
Yes, but who?
Does that matter?
Of course it does. I don't want my hair used in ill-gotten deeds.
Is Ryles just like sneaking up behind him with scissors?
No, he's still thinking of jokes.
Oh.
But if Jareth looks closely, he'll see that Ryles is missing a clump of his hair. And I've been giggling about that the whole time.
I mean, my passive is 17, so can I tell that?
Yeah, you would. You look over at Ryles, who's like giggling, and you see that there's like a chunk missing on the side of his head.
Garrison, why is Ryles missing
His
some of
hair's
his hair?
lopsided.
I don't know.
I got a haircut.
He woke up that way. I don't know. I guess I don't know.
Nazoth is just watching this all unfold.
But he seems fine.
Look, Jareth, it magic can be done with hair if you eat hair. Apparently, if Garrison eats some of your hair, he'll feel better. So can we have some of your hair?
Eat my hair?
Yeah, that's why I ate some of my hair. You know, I had a really bad hangover. Ate some of my hair. I feel great now. None of that's a
Unfortunately,
lie.
I'm
Don't need a
bald.
deception check.
I don't have hair.
Yeah, look, Garrison, no hair. Maybe you've heard the phrase "hair of the dog," and like you can like turn into a dog, but you don't need to do that. We just need like the hair that you have now. It's better than dog hair.
I'm just looking back and forth between the two with just like this weird, confused look on my face. the hell is going on?
Why are you looking so confused, buddy?
Come on. It grows back. Just a little bit. Just for me.
Let the man eat your hair. Let the man eat your hair. Let the man eat your hair.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm going to attempt to slip back into the group of Vistani dancers.
Damn it.
Oh, wait. Before you go, Ryles thought of this great joke on the walk over here.
Yeah, actually, I have been working on elf material. Can you help me with that? I need to make sure that none of them are like, offensive to elves.
Can I roll to see if this is just an elaborate ruse?
I could do it just
Sure.
Perception?
This would be
Or
inside, I think.
Insight?
Man, why
Yeah.
take the world alive?
They're up to something, but you don't think that they're doing this as like a prank on you? Do you think that there is like a reason for it?
I'm gonna attempt to get back in with the dancers and see how badly they want this.
That will depend on what they do at this point.
Hey, Jareth, don't leave. The joke's really good. Trust me.
Yeah, tell him the joke.
Okay, Jareth, who do elves work for?
Who?
Garrison tries to sneak up behind him and grab his hair.
Nobody. They're elf employed.
Oh, my
What?
word. Am I doing it?
Elf
Give
employed.
me a stealth check for Garrison.
Oh my god, this is great. I have disadvantage.
At this time, I am dancing, so you're gonna have to try to get that lock when I'm dancing.
Oh no, hold
my
on.
God.
It's disadvantage.
Oh.
No, but it's a disadvantage. It's a 14.
Oh, it's a 14. Give me a perception check.
Well, my
Jareth. There's no
passive is
guarantee that
17.
this even. Yeah, you see Garrison
You're
kind of
distracted,
trying to
though. No, you're distracted by Ryle's great joke. You're passive.
You know what that would have
No.
done? That would have actually. So I think this is one of those moments where Ryles is not so much like it wouldn't give Jareth disadvantage. What it technically would do would give Garrison advantage on his stealth check. So give me a stealth roll versus the 23. Technically, it would not have been a disadvantage. It would have been a straight up roll.
Then would it be the crit?
Hmm?
The first. Would it be the first roll?
Yeah,
then?
it would be the first 3 versus the 23. Jareth's got a really good check, so he'll probably be all right. Except for this time. You have advantage if you want to snip some hair real quick, but you have to make an attack roll to do it.
We're rich. Let's go.
Oh, you gotta make it a
I'm
sack
sorry,
roll.
Jareth. I
Yeah,
hope
you
it
still have to
doesn't
make an
hurt.
attack roll. Garrison,
Alright.
attack roll, please.
Fumble,
Okay.
fumble.
Jareth, how many elves does it take to cast continual flame?
Oh,
Jesus Christ. Ow, ow. What the hell?
Oh, sorry.
You've-
I was supposed to cut it, but I ripped it. These hands are new. I love you.
Did an
And he
arm
just,
strike.
just runs
He just
away.
grabbed his head and just ripped like a bunch of threads out.
My hair.
I'm not
My
dexterous.
hair.
The royal hair, no.
Get back
Has
here,
them now.
Garrison.
He had them all.
You totally ripped them out from the roots. That probably hurt.
I wonder how much the scalp of an elf is worth. This has got to be.
Get back here with my hair.
I'm assuming that Garrison just runs off at this point, but if Jareth
I'm
wants to
chasing.
do something about this,
I'm
you
chasing
sure
him.
can.
Yeah.
You want to do anything to try? Are you gonna try to get it back?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So if you want to try to grab it back, that's gonna be like a disarm check. So give me like an athletics check.
Oh,
Which
God,
Garrison,
my
I think, is really
athletics
good
is
at.
terrible.
It might be better if you're like a big bear.
Wild shape.
That's true. You might have to take your whole action to turn into a bear. You might need to do that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll wild shape into a bear.
All right. Just roll a strength check for me. Give I think a +4 for the bear, and then I need an athletics or an acrobatics check from Garrison.
Okay.
You chase him around the Vistani camp. Meanwhile, the Vistani are just like they're playing their songs, like double time now. I'm gonna find some.
I roll the black bear's strength.
Yeah. And yeah, Garrison, while he's evading you at the moment, you do your best to kind of chase him down.
Garrison just Heisman to Bear. For those of you that don't know sports, he uses one arm and pushes him away while holding the golden hair in his other hand. He's kind of high-stepping his way towards the tent now.
What's your speed though?
Maybe I knew a severed pink.
What's that?
What's your speed, Garrison?
I don't know. He's slow as hell. My guy's like dying.
Because I might be able to catch up if my speed's 40, right?
30 feet. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think you did catch me at some point. Yeah.
So it's
I mean, you can chase him around for a while. What's Garrison's plan to escape? Is he just gonna run into like Madame Eva's tent?
Yeah.
I would
Barreth,
attempt to
I'm sorry,
pounce-
Barreth. Barreth, I need this.
I would attempt to pounce
Barrett.
on him before he gets in there.
All right, I'll give you one more chance. The bear's a little bit quicker. Yeah, one more strength check and one more athletics check. Ooh.
Jesus.
That won't do it.
What?
For your own good, I broke the game.
Yes, somehow.
Garrison manages to evade the bear and duck inside Madame Eva's tent with a fistful of Jareth's hair. You just throw it at her? What do you do at this point?
Does the scalp give me any extra?
She's chuckling and says, no, just that'll do.
Is your tent
The bear,
bear-proof?
meanwhile, Jareth, are you just charging like right into the tent like after him at this point?
Yeah.
All right.
Could I have
Look,
told
800
Gretchen
pounds.
to go to
800
Madame
pounds of
Eva's?
golden bear. You're welcome.
Sorry.
What was that from Ryles?
Could I have told Gretchen to go to Madame Eva's tent? Like, could I have gotten Gretchen and taken her there too?
Sure.
Okay. Gretchen, you want to come to the tent? I think that Madame Eva can cure your hangover.
Sure. I was wondering if I could do it, but if she's willing.
Oh, okay. So we're there, I guess, before maybe chilling with Madame Eva. Can we get there fast enough? I don't know.
I mean, the camp is small.
Okay.
Can I also make a roll about what exactly is causing the HP drain?
Sure. Give me a, I guess an Arcana check or
Can
religion, either one.
Lack
Religion.
of prince fiber in your body.
thematic.
You think that the best explanation I can give is that that these hags, who are fiends, that they trade in souls, and that when they catch people who are asleep, they siphon away a little bit of their soul, and it takes kind of powerful magic to restore it.
Okay, would remove curse be powerful enough?
No, greater restoration is what you need on
Oh
this
boy,
thing.
okay. I do not have that.
Yeah. Let's switch up the music a little bit here.
Madam Eva, quick, look what I got. And also, there's a bear coming. I hope your tent can stop it.
Yeah, the bear is already there, by the way.
Oh, look, the bear's here.
Garrison, what did you do?
Did you know that the prince is worth more than we ever thought?
What?
Yeah, with just this simple lock of regrowable hair, sorry, Barreth, she can save us. Or at least me. Ryles is just telling me that you weren't feeling so good either. I didn't want to bother you, because I'm usually a burden on you. So I thought Ava could do this, Madam Eva. But look. Ta-da! Golden hair. And he kind of holds it up at her.
Oh my god.
Is this enough for two?
No, that will be enough for one.
Oh, damn it. Barreth, come here.
I'm still attempting to get that lock back. Can I?
He's at this point. He's already kind of tossed it on her table. Do you want to just tackle the table at this point?
I'd like to use my paw to just pull it back.
Give me a roll a dex check real quick, because as you're reaching for it, her hand is nimble and she reaches out for it as well.
That's the bear's dex.
Yeah.
Can I grab some bear hair?
Oh, that's
Some
nice.
bear hair. You could try, but bears are really hard to kind of like. You might be able to get a few strands.
Yeah, I don't know what bear fur actually looks like. I've never held bear fur.
It's very coarse and probably hard to kind of pull out.
It's not very long. Yeah, you're right.
She's
Pull it out
slow
very
and is not able to recover it as the bear kind of smashes it on the table. Instead, she kind of goes and like steadies the rest of the things on her table because the bear is not especially gentle. The Bareth has grabbed his own hair and is just like holding on to, I guess, with his big giant mitts. And Madame Eva just goes, Donna didn't see that coming. Your costs, unfortunately, are going back up. Seems as if your bear friend here does not wish to give up and sacrifice for you.
No, we talked about this. That's why we said that was fine. That even if he didn't want to give it up, it was fine.
Oh, yeah, of course. But you would have to have gotten it to me in a different way. I will not steal it from his mitts or paws
Right.
at this point.
Hey, Bareth, I know you can't understand me. Maybe you can, but can I have that?
Well put.
Shake my head.
Is that yes and bear?
That was definitely a no. I do not speak bear, but I'm sure that is a no.
All right. Well, in order for me to feel better, I need that or 250 gold or more. I can't grow golden bricks, but you can grow golden hair.
I'm gonna get out of wild shape.
Mhm.
And why didn't you say something? I was asking you why you needed this.
Well, one doesn't really have anything to do with the other. I asked if you could just give me something, and then it's something that you could easily grow back, you know. And yep, here we are.
Right. Well, we've got some gold in the party treasury.
But you already have a bare spot on your head. No pun intended.
Yes, but I would like to have been asked with the reason before you snatched it.
You know, long ago, in the hobgoblin camp that I came from, they taught me that penance sometimes is cheaper than permission. So I'm sorry that you have a bald spot now, but that hair is gonna do best over here. Huh?
I turned to Madame Eva. What exactly would my hair be used for?
There is much power in the noble blood, and the locks, one in the line for a noble crown. I will have uses for it.
Nothing bad.
I will not use it to harm you. No.
And I have your word.
You have my word. I will not use it to do you harm.
Alright, I slide the hair over. You owe me, Garrison. So I fiddle with the spot of missing hair in my head, try to cover it up.
Madame Eva looks to Garrison too and says, "Yes, Garrison, you do. You owe your friend now. You are bound to him."
Oh, I got a piece of his soul.
No. He has a piece of yours.
Aha, sucks to be you. Well,
She takes the hair, kind of ties it up into like a little knot, and slips it away inside of her robes.
Come on now, we're just handing out souls. I want a piece.
She gestures for Garrison to sit at the table, and she holds out her hands. Hold my hands.
sure. Hey, you keep a good hold on that there, Jareth. There's not a lot of it left. And he sits down.
He concentrates and then speaks a few words, and she does so there's like there's cards around her, like the Troker cards that she uses, and some of them kind of shake on the table. And there's a little bowl next to her as well that you see smoke kind of coming out of. It looks like an incense bowl, but there was something rattling within it. I'm not really sure what it was. And as this happens, whatever she's doing doesn't seem to involve the hair at all. So she must have another reason to have that. But whatever spell she casts fills a little bit of a hole in your soul, and you feel strength returning to you. Those hit points are now recovered. If you had any exhaustion, that is also gone.
Cool. What about... did Jareth get any piece of my torment?
No.
Okay, lucky you. Got part of my good soul. All right, well, I feel better. Sorry about your bald spot, Jareth. But now we're closer than ever. Did you hear what she said? You got a piece of me in you.
Mm. You're lucky I have such long and plentiful hair that it can cover that bald spot.
It's not really covering it, but it kind of distinguishes you.
I think we can make it a fashion statement. I think we can get Bimothy to cut a piece of his hair.
Right? Like, you know that bard Nelly that, like, cut his eyebrow? Wore the Band-Aid? You could rock a bald spot. That could be, like, your thing.
No, I'll just throw some hair on top of it.
You shave just one side?
He just pulled some hair out.
If you do shave it, can I have what you're not using?
No. I'm not gonna shave.
Alright. But if you change your mind, you let me know.
Sure.
Was Gretchen pulled into this? Did Ryles go and grab Gretchen?
Yeah, Ryles
She's
grabbed
here.
Gretchen.
We're here.
I don't know if Jareth is willing to part with more hair for her. My hair won't do the trick though, right?
No, yours will not.
Yeah.
She already used it to cure your hangover.
Yeah. Just sick. Jareth, are you going? Can you spare a little bit more hair for our friend Gretchen?
I have
wait.
enough. Thank you
Hold
very
on.
much. Madam Eva
Right.
says.
Before you...
Cash or credit now?
Is there another way to do this without trading pieces of Gretchen's soul? I don't really care much about my soul personally, but Gretchen's a good person. She's got a dog. She's got to have a good soul.
Yes, he does have a dog.
Oh god.
Oh, don't say shit like that.
Oh no.
I've had enough of you, Bithani, and your craziness, alright? That one outside just did some shit I could have never believed before, alright? I want to hear about you.
We are finding your limits then.
Yeah, the dog. The dog's the limit.
Do you not have
Keanu,
anything of
Keanu
value?
Reeves, everyone in your campaign.
Do you have nothing yet? Nothing else to trade?
We could probably get the gold together.
Yeah, Gretch, don't give away your soul. Hashtag hindsight's 2020.
There's 108 gold pieces in the party treasure.
And
that all
I
we have?
have, well, we've been putting it on
haven't gotten much gold.
personals.
We've been dividing
I
most
have
of it up.
100. Yeah, I have 118 gold, and I would gladly give that to you, Gretch, in order for you to try to get your soul back.
I've got
And
quite a lot of
I have
gold.
about the same on my sheet.
I can give you 100 if you like.
Yeah, that would be great.
Alright, I'll give you 100 gold. Here you go.
And I'll also give you 100.
And now you just have
And
to pay
I'll
50.
I'll cover the rest. I'll cover the
Alright.
other 50.
You pull out cash, and
Thank you, guys.
she gives you a receipt.
Oh, tax exempt.
You're
didn't
gonna
know sold
triple
were
fry
taxed.
that
Yes,
receipt
the
there?
Vistani have a tax exemption here in Barovia. What was the question? From
You're gonna
from
triple
Jeff?
fry that receipt there? Better than triplicate?
Of course, whatever you need. You hand the gold over her, and she pockets it, puts it like within her robes. and then has Gretchen sit across from her, does the same ritual, casting the same spell, Greater Restoration. And Gretchen, you suddenly feel better too.
Oh, thank you very much. That is a relief.
This coven, they will come for you again. You must guard yourselves.
Oh,
Be
killed.
wary where you sleep. You killed one of them?
Yeah.
Killed one of the
Gonna get
daughters.
other two.
Then that is good. That means you have broken some of their greater powers, but they can still do this to you when you sleep. I imagine they will be following you, slowly taking their revenge.
Is there a way to get to them in the regular realm, not in the sleep realm?
There is a way to see them. But get to them, no. You must find some way of drawing them out. And they will not be drawn into an ambush easily now, especially if their powers are weakened. Just up for you to be careful where you sleep. Guard your dreams and your minds. If you are in the area, come to us. You will be safe here. Any place that is also hallowed, that should protect you as well.
Do you know of any other hallowed places in Barovia besides the church?
Great question.
The church, you're talking about the church in Vallaki?
Correct.
They'll say, she'll say, the church, the chapel of St. Andrew. This is the only place that I know of, the only place other than here that I think that you might be safe.
What about the other Vistana camp? Or not the Vistana, sorry.
The one outside of Vallaki?
Yeah.
They do not have a seer,
Okay.
a fortune teller amongst them. They do not have a wise woman. They only have a wise child, and she does not yet have the powers.
Alright.
Alright, well, that sounds like tonight's problem then. What do you guys want to do during...
Well, I did prepare protection from good and evil. I think that'll help.
Oh yeah, I got that
That's
as well.
gonna have to sleep outside.
That will help.
I'd like to take a quick short rest so I can get that wild shape back if we can.
All right. I don't know if you can. Well, I mean, it's evening time now. I don't imagine you guys are going to be leaving at night to go wherever you're going next.
So we're chilling here again.
We're partying.
Party.
Well, unless you guys want to leave at night.
No, party.
Leave at night. Leave at
Let's
night.
get a. So from. You guys
Also,
are asking about safe places. Give me a religion check if you're skilled in it. If you got proficiency in it.
Can we also let them know that there might be an undead roaming around?
Just one? She seems surprised.
Yeah,
There's
only
an
one.
upturned
Don't worry
grave
about
nearby.
There are graves all over Barovia. The undead, they will not come here. They know better. Gretchen, with that religion check, she mentioned like hallowed places, like places that were holy or protected or whatnot. She mentioned the church in Vallaki, the bones of St. Andrew are protecting that place with a sort of hollow spell. You had heard of another place. You haven't been there yet, but you don't know, so you don't know if it has the same sort of protections. But you had heard that near the ruins of Berez, there's also a set of standing stones to the ancient gods that you were told about. If that place has not been corrupted, that might also be another sort of safe place to go.
What about the standing stones we discovered on the other side of the river?
You mean near the old bone grinder?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Okay.
You'd have to go and, I mean, it might be sort of like those were not even marked anyway. And that it might just be a matter of testing the area, and rest there and see if you get messed with.
We also got to go to the Amber Temple eventually, but
I mean, the ruin of Barad sounds like a good place to go to find another hollowed spot.
Let's
We
get
haven't
this
been
one,
there
so.
yet.
all
That
right.
was cool.
I mean, if it's closer, yeah, let's go to that one.
I mean,
Go to where?
too close.
Ruins of Perez.
All right. Wow, this music is weird. Let's skip some of these.
I don't know. It feels like Vistani camp music.
Like it slaps, but
Yeah, I was vibing.
Roll
Yeah.
performance, everyone. We're
Which,
dancing.
refresh my memory. Was it the Amber Temple or the Ruins of Barek where
house is
we were-
busted.
that Strahd was supposed to have
Oh,
had
yeah.
the secret of his immortality?
That was the Amber
Temple.
Let's
at
go,
Mount
Ryles.
Gakis.
Let's go to the ruins first, and then we'll go to the Amber Temple.
Yeah.
Can we get to the Amber Temple, like overland from where we are, or do we need to stick to the roads?
You don't necessarily need to stick to the roads, but you'd be climbing Mount Gakis from like the
Gotcha.
other side,
What happens if we go
which is
Okay. So
This is
there's
like a
in the
mountain.
way. Yeah.
that's sort of in the way. It would take you longer to try to scale the mountain by going overland from where you are, and you'd be in the wilderness, which is even more dangerous than like the roads. And you guys have already been kind of like attacked on the roads a couple times.
So we need to go back up past the Bone Grinder through the Svalich Road in Villaki.
You can go whatever direction you want, but it is more dangerous if you go
Let's
through
take the roads.
like the wilds.
Take the roads in
And
the
it,
morning.
and
but
it sometimes takes longer if you get lost.
Hopefully, we'll run into the the hags on the way, and we can finish them off.
well, that would be
Alright.
tonight because we're gonna sleep here again in safety, and then we're gonna leave in the morning.
All right, one more night of rest
With the party.
with the Vistani. And it looks like Ryles was out there, dancing along to the festivities outside.
Yeah, Jareth said roll performance for dance. So Jareth and I are dancing right now.
All right,
Yeah.
you guys have learned a Vistani dance in like the
Never
couple days
kinda
that you guys
right.
have now been with them. Garrison is over there just like stomping around, but good enough
I'm all
that they don't
lefts.
really make fun of him.
Sorry. All lefts. I can clap though. That's new for me.
The evening comes, passes. You guys eventually get rest again, maybe later in the evening this time. The Vistani, they stay up pretty late. They don't seem to be afraid of the dark or this place. The whole time this is happening, you have it's still at the edge of the camp. Esmeralda is she seems to be restless over there, kind of over near a tree, near the path. She hasn't really left like her own little pallet to kind of join in any of these festivities. She hasn't really said anything to anybody in this time either.
Can we
Is there
approach
anything that anybody else needed to do or any business here before we press on? Otherwise, we can just get through this night and get on the road in the morning.
I wouldn't mind talking to Esmeralda.
Unless they have that magic items for sale.
Interesting. Magic items for sale. Do you have any money, first of all?
I have 118 gold if they have a rod of the Pact Keeper.
They do not, especially not for 118 gold. They might have some minor things though. Give me 1 second.
I don't want any
'Cause
money.
I don't think we found a single magic item this entire game.
Yeah, you found a few things.
Nice beer.
Bimothy's
wearing
got
one.
Oh yeah, Bimothy's got his, but
What about a cloak of protection?
I'm wearing that.
I've still got the same stuff I started with. so-
Here, here,
It's not
Naz,
a
you can
magic-
have this.
Not a magic item rich place, I'll tell you that right.
I don't think I've gotten any items at all.
Yeah. Garrison offers Naz the blood tree axe.
But
Here you go, dude. You wanted something magical. If you find something plant-based, you get extra damage.
Oh man, I love that we had the plant-based thing, and you never actually used it against the blights.
Nope.
we got
They,
that from them though, didn't we?
What's that?
Did we get that after we beat them?
Right in the middle.
After
Had
I,
it during
He,
the battle.
he grabbed it during the battle.
let me alone now.
Yeah.
For real, yeah, I don't think this is. I think this is very low. Like, why would the Dastani be running around with like a +1 sword or like a?
They wouldn't be,
You know?
but they do have a couple of things. They have a wand of magic detection, a wand capable of detecting magic. Anybody can use it. It is an uncommon item, they're willing to trade or barter with you guys, and if you have, some stuff and gold or whatever to trade with them, you might be able to get your hands on that. They also have a couple of healing potions, which are 50 gold pieces each.
No cloaks of protection.
Nope.
Damn. I'll
Or-
buy a healing potion off them, 50 gold.
All right. One healing potion secured. I'm assuming nobody's interested in the other stuff, so we will press on.
I'm kind of tempted to draw a card from Maravilla.
Is it possible to talk to Esmeralda tonight?
Oh
by
yeah,
fire?
you can. Sorry, I forgot about that. I got sidetracked. Distracted. Yeah, you make your way over to her. Like again, she's kind of sitting away from everyone else. Kind of nods as you approach, recognizing you.
I'll bring her like a goblet of wine or whatever everyone's celebrating with. I don't know what the local fare is.
The Vistani typically have wine.
So I'll offer her a cup and listen about, I guess, yesterday, I don't know. Time's confusing. I understand I'm pretty rash. What you did down there was your doing, but I wanted a chance to maybe figure you out a little bit more. When we came across you the first time, you were really helpful, and then you seemed a little bit passionate about our adventure, but I don't even know where we're really going. And you seem to be frustrated that we don't have an arrow pointed at a direction, but I don't know how to get to our end goal.
Do you even know what your end goal is?
To get out of here. If that's through him, then sure, but none of us are from here. We want to go home.
At what
Your
point are
people,
you
son.
going to realize that you have to go through it to get out?
Well, fine then, but until we can gather the pieces out here, there's no way. He controls everything. There's only a few that have stood against him, and we're trying to figure out what they've used at least to have a chance.
Gathering pieces. Pieces of what? I don't think you ever told Esmeralda about like your plan here before. You guys haven't really had one. I don't think. Maybe you guys need to discuss that amongst yourselves too. But like, when you first came here and you had come to Madame Eva, she had given you a reading about things that were sort of important. You remember these things?
Yes. And she, as being Esmeralda, was one of them. She was like one of the cards.
Mhm.
So,
Yep. So on page 5 of your Google slide thingy, Madame Eva's reading.
The wizard, the priest, the bishop, the
bishop,
miss, and
Miss
the executioner.
The executioner.
But she was the enchanter, right? The random card.
I would assume Esmeralda is the mist.
She was the random card. I don't. That was after. That was not part of her reading.
Okay.
Huh. So the priest card
The
said,
mist. You had said the mist, and here I'll read that one aloud for you. Vistana wanders this land alone, searching for her mentor. She does not stay in one place for long. Seek her out at the abbey near the mists. You found Esmeralda, who is a Vistani, traveling alone at the abbey of St. Markovia. And she had said that she was here looking for someone. She'd even, I think, said that she had been looking for her mentor. It's one of the reasons she stopped at the tower. She thought that person might return there. I
right,
think
his
she's
notes
told
were
you
there.
who it is at this
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
too.
He's the wizard. Like, his
Yeah,
notes were
well,
there.
not
She
really
had
wizard. He's
not
a
what-
vampire hunter, a
Octavio?
famous vampire hunter.
Correct.
No.
He's the guy who the place belonged to, the trailer outside.
He's Van Richten,
Yeah.
basically.
So we've done the miss, we've done the wizard because that was seek a wizard's tower on a lake, Let him and the servant guide you. The priest card, I assume, is Agenholt. Because it what you find seek in the castle amid the ruins.
Arkenvostal is not really a castle.
Oh,
Stronghold, but it's not a castle.
shoot. So
There's
the
only
priest
one castle.
would be
There's
Ravenloft.
only one castle in this place that you're aware of, and that is Castle Ravenloft.
We haven't been there yet.
Nope, but you can see it up on the hill. The bishop, that's the one about an item of a weapon of vengeance, sword of sunlight, that lies in a pile of treasure beyond a set of amber doors.
So that would be the Amber Temple.
The Amber Temple.
The last card number 5, the Executioner. This is the enemy of darkness, powers beyond mortality. Dark figure on a balcony, looking down upon the tortured land. Card will lead you to him. So whoever this is, whoever you're looking for, you can only assume that this is likely Strahd himself. Is that when you ultimately confront him, reference the card. This will tell you where you might have an advantage.
Amber Door, or we go to the castle. If we wanted to do the readings. I still want to go to the ruins of Perez, but that's just my vote.
All of these places you guys have talked about, even the ruins of Perez has a connection to Strahd. There's kind of something to be learned about him almost everywhere here.
And that's what he's trying to tell Esmeralda. He's like, listen, I don't know what we're doing, but we're picking these pieces. We're trying to learn about our enemy. Like, we've heard stories. Those of your own kind, Madame Eva inside seems to be around a very long time and has told us stories herself. We've learned from the Knights of Argensvossel and their attempts. We've learned from the Dark Elven folk that are in the encampment and that are kept there by Strahd. I'm not saying this is a direct path, but without finding out all this information, we're going to go in there blind and he's going to tear us apart.
So you tell her about the reading. I think the whole point of kind of going back to this was that you hadn't really told her about it.
Yeah, so he's like, I think this is kind of, he's going to go over there with like maybe even more than a glass of wine, maybe like a pitcher and 2 glasses,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like break down and try to like get through this wall of like, obviously he kind of was yelling at her down in there and she's like, you guys are dumbasses, like, what are you doing? You're wasting my time. So he's trying to like lay out for her what we've come across and where their actual objectives lie, and he wants from her to like, what is she looking for? Because like a direct run right at him, I don't think is the answer.
She tells you that you should have brought these readings to her before. She knows the Vistani, and she warns you that Madame Eva is more than she appears. There's a reason why Strahd treats them with kid gloves while he favors them. But these readings, they are important. It seems as if she is trying to protect you in some way, but she might be playing both sides. But even so, these readings, they do have power. Madame Eva is known to have these powers, to be able to see perhaps into the future or into the past. You've already... She seems disturbed that, like, one of these readings kind of refers to her. I don't know if she's setting you up or setting me up. But this other thing, the thing that you have found in the Wizard's Tower, was a book. It was information about Strahd, so that was true. But you have not sought these other things yet. If one of them is in the castle, it seems to me like it would be foolish to try to go there and get it before this other one. You talk about the Amber Doors. Obviously, I think this means the Amber Temple. And that is a place of the dark powers. That gives me pause when I think about what Manaviva's goals might be. The Amber Temple and these dark powers, these are things that tempt good people and turn them to evil. If that is a place that we must go to, you must be very careful there.
Girl, first my middle name. Don't worry about it.
You are
think
not a careful
Your Honor,
person, Garrison. Not at all.
I'm not a person. I'm Hobgoblin.
You ask why I've been
How
frustrated.
about-
It's because you've been wandering around without a plan. You hadn't shared this with me. I had no idea what you were even thinking of doing. But you were protecting a thing of evil. That priest's son, he was gone. Could not see why you don't understand that. The soul has been torn free from a body when they've been turned into an undead monstrosity. There's nothing left to do but destroy them. And if you are going to pause every time that this sort of thing rears its head, then you will lose. Cannot give up the initiative when it is yours.
I'm not known for giving up, or for not acting quickly. The reason I paused is because there's enough monsters in this whole place. We went into that man's home, a priest of this land, and he told us of a problem, and we asked for his help to sleep somewhere, and we told him we could help his son. Obviously, he was going through ailments, but we didn't even have a chance to maybe think about it, to have somebody look it over. Like, I understand things might be irreparable, and you seem to know more than I do about this place, but it was just hasty. That was what it was, and you're probably right at the end of the day, but it was a lot all in that moment. But Madame Eva just wanted to kill a dog, so I'm kind of figuring your people out, getting why you don't want to be cool with them.
It's like a double take, kill a dog. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to get my soul healed, and then I was telling about how nice my friend Gretchen is. You really should get to know her. She's great, real good person. She's got giggles, you know giggles. And then all of a sudden, Eva had this look in her eyes, and it wasn't good.
She takes that at face value, and it makes her wonder. Again, she doesn't. It seems as if Esmeralda doesn't completely trust Madame Eva or the rest of the Vistani here, and she's kind of warning you to be careful about them as well.
You made a good
So
point.
if you say Madame Eva was going to kill a dog, she'll probably be like, all right, well that's proof that you probably shouldn't trust her.
Right, well, you made a good point, though. She might be playing both sides. She can't outrightly defy him, because then she'll get eliminated by his wrath. We've seen that. But if she can bump us in the right directions and assist in a less direct way, maybe that's what she's trying to do. If we fail just like the others, well, no harm, no foul. She'll try again with the next game contestants of his. But I'm not saying I trust her fully, but she has been helpful for some reason. Others are afraid to come to this camp. All the other monsters and creatures and everything. This is a safe place. It's one of our only of refuge, so we need to make use of it.
Yes, we do. I don't like it, but we do. Especially since those fiendish witches are on our tail.
Yeah. Well, you see, that's what happens when we just jump into action. Now we have witch problems. But what about you? What would you prefer us to? I mean, obviously you said going to the castle is probably the more prudent way to go. It's closer. But
We need
obviously you have
weapons
your own aims.
to fight Strahd. He is very powerful. He controls this land, and not just its people, but the land itself, it seems. And if we are going to fight him, the weapons that you have found so far, I don't know if they are capable of defeating him. He was known to be a warrior, fighting at the head of armies before he settled down and became this vampire. And in the time since, it seems as if he's, as I understand it, he has studied magic, and that makes him even more powerful.
What do you know? Do you have any of your mentor's notes or anything that could guide us. I know our warlock Naz over there. He feels that he needs something in order to defeat Strahd or more, and
Well.
I couldn't agree more.
One of the reasons I have said little is because I'm a little bit more concerned about that one than others. Seems as if he is willing to make a deal with dark powers.
You need both sides of the coin.
I will
like
need to
said.
confirm or deny these.
Gretchen's very cool, great, positive.
If it comes to it, if he chooses the dark path, he must be destroyed.
Yeah, it's fine. The Eldritch Blasts will be alright.
She gives you kind of a stern look and says, if you will pause, if you did with that boy, the boy that was not a boy, know that I will act.
You can't
Ask
say
that
this.
you do not stand in my way.
Don't say this to anyone else, but oddly enough, I just thought about it, and I think I would hesitate more over that boy than trying to stab Nazoth.
Doesn't really have much to say, after that. She just kind of nods, understanding maybe where you're coming from.
He's cool and all, but I punched Ryles the first day I met him, and look at us.
Yeah, the last thing that she has, I think, to say after that is just kind of an assessment of your group. She's like, you're going to have to understand, you have to figure out how all the rest of your allies work. That one, Nazoth, may turn on you. You cannot turn your back to him. The best of you, Gretchen. I've seen her in action. She is pure. That means that she has a much higher place to fall from. And Strahd will target her. He will tempt her. In a place like this, there's very little to hold on to, very little good to cling to. She must be protected.
Then
The
it's
little
our
one,
job. Just shield.
Ryles. Everything is a joke to him, but this place is no joke.
I think we all play
The
our part.
prince. Everyone plays their parts. And the prince. I don't know what to do with the prince. Seems as if he has a good heart, good soul. He keeps talking about his people and setting up places here. Setting up, what did he call them?
Emissaries. That's weird, I know, right?
If he would draw others to this place, that would just only feed Strahd and his minions.
I agree.
His
It's a weird thought that he'd want to send his people here. This place sucks, but
his ambitions could be his downfall. In a place like
maybe we
this.
can make the place great. He thinks big. Like if we make this place really great, then he might bring his people. But I see what you're saying. It's probably not the best until we do that.
She is completely unconvinced that this place could be made great.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, the last thing that she says is she kind of looks over across the campsite, and you can see that she's looking at Bimothy. She says, that one, next to you, the strongest warrior in your group, but also the one most fragile. They must learn to be strong. They must learn to face their own fears, lest they run away when you need them most.
You'll be alongside us for this journey. I have more shortcomings and flaws than I do successes here, but it's my job to take the front punches this way. Gretchen and Bimothy, and even the jokester Ryles and the rest of them make it. I'd appreciate your help, though. Maybe helping them understand what they're supposed to be doing. Maybe you could get to know them a little bit better.
Seems to be kind of just still kind of watching Bimothy from across the camp. Bimothy, what's Bimothy been up to this evening?
He hasn't been up to much, but I think he's been mainly just kind of pacing.
Has he joined the festivities or kind of stayed?
Not really.
out of them,
He's kind of mostly stayed out of them. I think he's mostly just been you know, worried, and I mean, as he is, but I think he's mostly just been like he's mostly just been thinking about how is it that everyone here is able to have such a good time in such a horrible place? It
Right.
is it is it is he's been mostly it's been split between like looking over at the Vistani stuff and being like, how are they having so much fun? This is absolutely terrifying. Everything is horrible here. And then also like kind of he's like looking and then looking out of the camp and like kind of wondering like what's what other horrors are lying
Right.
beyond this small encampment, and is even this encampment enough to kind of protect them for however long they're staying here for, and it just feels like there's no end to this. So
It does feel like an exposed place, like you're hiding in plain sight. Like, you when you're thinking about this, I mean, Bimothy is what Bimothy. He's a creature that has, fear is kind of like part of his personality. And for a second, you thought you heard something as you're like, worried about like, how safe is this place? Thought you heard like a thud, somewhere like a thud in the distance, like almost sounded like a drum or something. And then you hear it again, like another, and then another one.
That was me. I had that bean for dinner.
And you feel like a tiny bit of like a rumble in the ground. And you're looking around to try to see if anybody else has like noticed this or whatnot. And you suddenly find yourself meeting the gaze of Esmeralda across the camp, and you see that she's sitting with Garrison, and it seems as if they were talking, and she's suddenly stopped, and she's kind of staring like right at you with this sort of intense sort of look, like it's almost like she's trying to like look into your soul or something like that.
Yeah, that also terrifies Bimothy, and he kind of tries to like look away, but he's not sure where to look because he's awkward. But he kind of like looks around, and he's trying to he tries to focus on that thudding sound, see if he's just making things up in his head or if he's actually hearing something.
You start listening for it again, and it seems to have stopped. Almost sound like something big was approaching. But now the music of the camp is kind of drowned it out, and all you can see are Ryles and Jareth dancing, and maybe you glance over and you see what's Nazoth up to. I don't want to know what Nazoth is doing.
He's not doing much. He's just enjoying the camp like everyone else.
So he's just chilling out. Is
Yeah.
he dancing or partaking or just kind of
he's
like?
Not dancing.
But he's near the fires and just kind of there.
Yeah, he's probably drinking a little alcohol too.
If a necromancer or whatnot, or a demon worshiper could be a wallflower, that's what Nazoth would be right now. Just kind of hanging out at the edge of camp and enjoying it, but not really participating like everyone else.
Yeah, pretty much. He's yeah, pretty much. I can't really think of much for him to do that's kind of like, in character and kind of...
I think you're doing the right thing. You're probably not really doing anything. Unless you're, I don't know. Unless you...
Usually I only pipe up when I can think of something that's comically evil to say, so that's kind of what I'm doing.
I'm sure that there's a few inappropriate things that you have said to the Vistani. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe when he catches, looks over, he sees you, maybe having a really like laughing with like a Vistani, like there's a great joke that's just been shared. But then Bimothy notices the Vistani kind of look the other direction, like, holy shit, this guy's crazy. And probably Nazoth has got like, I don't know, does Nazoth have like an evil, like a big bad evil guy's laugh, or does he even laugh at all? Does he laugh at his own jokes, or does he just even just say stuff to make people uncomfortable, or does he even know it's funny?
He's kind of like Rick Sanchez. He just kind of matter of fact.
Right. Okay, so he's deadpan in his deliveries. I would think that because Rick doesn't like laugh or anything.
Exactly. That's how I envisioned him, was just completely deadpan and morbid.
Yeah. So you probably see some of the Vistani laughing and then easing away from Nazoth. But that sound doesn't come back. Maybe you were imagining it. Maybe it was just the drums echoing off the lake or something.
Yeah, it's nothing to worry about. Nothing extremely large coming.
Couldn't have been giant footsteps.
No, it couldn't. No, it's been a while since we've heard her say anything like that, so I'm fine. And he'll like kind of rub his hand where his little rune is kind of hidden underneath his bandage on his thing, just kind of like thinking about it, but like trying not to think about it, but thinking about it and trying not to think about it. And he just kind of goes into a little bit of a spiral. So.
All right. I think that is the. Was there anything else that Garrison wanted from Esmeralda? She does, like that evening when you are talking, she does tell you things that she knows about vampires, like kind of like how to kill them and like what's needed to do that, and like stabbing them and even like taking them out is not it. You have to. Typically, they will turn to mist and then fly to wherever their grave is, wherever they were laid to rest, crypt, coffin, something like that, and you'll need to track them down and finish them off. The only way to do that is to find them basically in their lair and stab them through the heart with a stake. And sometimes that just puts them to sleep until someone removes the stake. She's not entirely certain that Strahd can be fully defeated, but she thinks that there's a chance. She knows enough that if you guys have the right weapons, if you have the right knowledge, and if you guys are working together, you might be able to take him down. But it's going to have to be in the right situation because he has allies everywhere here. You won't be able to take him on with a direct assault. She's already heard the stories of those that have tried it in Barovia, and they've all failed.
All right. Well, hopefully you can help us get there and guide us where you can. But let's get some rest tonight and we'll start tomorrow on our way.
All right. You guys rest that night after partying. And if there was anything else you guys could have recovered from a long rest, you do. And then come the morning, you guys have breakfast with the Vistani. Most of them are kind of still sleeping, I think, when you get up. Just a few that are maybe tending to horses and animals in their camp. And as the morning mists turn to sort of a drab gray, you guys head out. Where's your destination? Have you guys decided?
We're either going to the ruins or to that other place we were talking about.
So,
Name I forgot.
like, it sounds like there's two options. There's the ruins of Berez, and there's the Amber Temple. The road to both of these places begins the same way. It heads back out of the sort of valley of where the village of Barovia is, back through the gates, the giant gates away from Castle Ravenloft towards Vallaki, before you'll turn south near the Luna River.
We could always try Arkenvost again.
Could try that too.
Ravenloft's the easiest thing to do.
What?
As you climb up the trail from Sir Pool, takes you maybe about an hour or so to scale up to the bridge that crosses the crevasse where the river from the Sir Falls kind of passes by, about 1,000 feet below. You're ascending pretty quickly by climbing these trails. When you reach the bridge, last time you were here, there was a horseman on an undead horse, an undead knight on an undead horse standing in the center of the bridge. So you climb up to the bridge itself. Today, the bridge is empty. The horse and rider are nowhere to be seen. I'm assuming you continue on.
Weird.
Travel across the bridge, maybe worried that this thing is going to appear or drop out of nowhere, but it does not. You find yourselves traveling again up the road towards the gates. You come to the crossroads where the gates, and you can see the gates, maybe a few hundred yards away now, off to the northwest. There's a road to the east that travels up the mountain towards Castle Ravenloft. And when you reach the crossing here, you find something curious waiting for you here. A black carriage waiting in the mists, drawn by a pair of dark horses, kind of snorting puffs of steamy breath into the mountain air. Side door of the carriage swings open silently as you guys watch.
Anyone up for a free ride?
I don't think that's a
Not
good
enough.
idea.
Not that thing.
Esmeralda, is this? Whose carriage is this?
He looks at it and she shakes her head. They've never seen it before. It is
Why would
parked
we-
in a direction where if it went straight, it would head off the road, or at least head up the road towards Castle Ravenloft.
Oh, he's
Oh,
inviting
this
us.
is, yeah. We're not ready, right? Right, guys?
I mean, we
need
don't have
some
to
more
attack him, do
things.
we? He's inviting us to check in.
Would it not be rude to refuse an invitation?
I say it'd be rude. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go is right. Yes.
Alright, let's
I
hop
don't
in.
know.
Uh,
Why?
I guess the scaredy cat party got outvoted.
Oh, why do we have to go talk to the big bad guy?
yeah, I
Because
swear
we're
that
in
was
his
the last
land.
good idea.
I'd rather not
And when was
piss
the last
him
time
off.
we get a free ride? We don't have to walk on horses. My butt won't have to hurt. My feet don't hurt. We're just gonna sit. Look at this carriage. It's so nice. Look at the detail as he's like gesturing you to get in.
When you move up to it, the carriage is very large on the inside. It's a big carriage, not like larger than it is on the outside, but it is easily big enough to, with room enough inside for 8 people to ride comfortably.
So opulent.
Can I
Come
sit
on,
up
Bim.
top where the driver would normally sit?
There is no top for a driver, and there is no driver.
Ooh.
Who would need a driver?
Yeah, but how are the horses connected to the
By
carriage?
not by the reins. They don't pull on the reins. There are no reins. There are horses that are. I don't know if you've ever seen like a coach before, but they're attached to like a pole in the front
Right.
with harnesses. And typically a driver would use reins to control them. Go, stop, or whatever. But these don't have. They don't have bridles. They don't have anything to control them.
Huh.
It's
Yeah, it's not terrifying at all.
They are attached to the carriage, so they could pull it. How they know when to go and where to go, that's a mystery.
I feel like if it's Strahd, he's probably powerful enough to have horses that know where to go.
Most horses just know how to go. That's not even a powerful thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'm not really a horse guy.
No, you're a sheep guy,
No, I'm not a sheep guy.
goat guy,
Is there a spot on the
I mean,
back?
that's closer, but still no.
ram guy.
I mean, I'm not really any of those. I'm like my own person. I'm what's called a satyr. That's a thing.
All right, whatever you say.
Is there a spot on the back where
Good
attendants
job
would
standing
stand?
up for yourself, Bim.
Where what?
Where like attendants would stand on the back?
No. It seems like this is not designed for people to like kind of stand on side. It seems like it's just drawn by the horses. Like you could hang on the
Jared.
outside if you wanted to,
Yeah.
but there's no like coachman seat in the front or like attendants like steps at the back. There's a chest back there, like a big, a really large sort of like a chest that seems to be bound to the carriage itself.
Yeah, I just don't like think it makes sense for all of us to be in there. Like, what happened if we get locked in? Someone should be outside.
Oh, windows.
Yeah.
Come on.
You said I
Jareth.
can hang on the side?
Next to me.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll hang on the side.
Oh, now there's extra room for us. All right, come on, everybody in except him, I guess.
No, this is
What's
terrible.
that hang
This
on
is
the other
gonna be
side?
bad.
Ryles steps in.
There you go.
Bimothy will step in as well.
Come one, come all. Welcome to not Garrison's carriage.
Gretchen and Giggles will get on. This really isn't a good idea, Garrison.
Or is it? And then he gets in himself.
Or is it? Great.
All right. 1 second here. I'm just checking something. You climb aboard. Everybody's inside except for Jareth, who's on the exterior, right? Esmeralda kind of makes a comment, wondering if this is a wise idea, but she can't think of any reason why. The idea of ignoring this summons seems dangerous too.
That's what I was afraid of. Plus, we gotta go there anyway. We just need to be nice. I promise I'll do my best to not say anything, but you guys gotta
Look.
speak up. I have a hard time in awkward silences.
Look, we're gonna go there. He's gonna bribe/threaten us. All we gotta do is nod our heads, say we're sorry, offer Bimothy as a sacrifice, and we can leave.
No one's sacrificing Bimothy.
I don't really want to be sacrificed. It's kind of like top of my leg things that I wish don't happen to me.
No one's
Maybe
being
he's gonna say,
sacrificed.
he might say thank you for the bride, guys. Might be a good thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't
That's
pick up
true,
the
but
rubber
until
now.
we know his attitude on the bride, I suggest we pretend we know nothing about it.
I say we say you're welcome. And if you'd like a second one, we know the guy.
All right, let's get moving here. The once you've mounted up into the carriage and Jareth has climbed onto the side, the horses, almost like they know what to do and when to do it. One of them kind of gives a big snort, and they start pulling, and the carriage kind of trundles along. It takes you up and up the mountain. The Castle Ravenloft kind of looming in and out of sight amongst the peaks up there. You wind through the forest and craggy mountains, and suddenly you kind of take a quick turn at one point, and it almost feels as if this carriage is going to go like over the edge of one of these cliffs and drop you down to your deaths. But it always seems to manage to just stay on the road. And eventually, you come around one of these turns and you find yourselves in the awesome presence of Castle Ravenloft before you. The carriage comes to a stop before twin turrets of stone, broken from years of exposure. Beyond these guard towers is a precipice about 50 foot wide, a fog-filled chasm that disappears into unknown depths below. A lower drawbridge of old and shored-up wooden beams stretches across this chasm between you and the archway to the courtyard beyond. The chains of the drawbridge kind of creak in the wind, kind of rust-eaten and straining from the weight. From atop the high walls, you can see stone gargoyles staring down at you, hollow eye sockets, and hideous grins on their faces. There's a rotten wooden portcullis, green with growth, that hangs over the entry tunnel, and beyond it, you can see the main doors of Castle Ravenloft, and they stand open. There's a rich, warm light that spills from within, flooding the courtyard. There are torches kind of fluttering in sconces on both sides of the doors. I'm going to bring you guys to a new map.
Oh boy, we're here.
You are here.
Oh man.
Give me 1 second to make sure that you are here correctly.
Dun, 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 dun.
One moment. It's going to be a big map. Castle Ravenloft is very big.
It's a spicy.
It is a
Multi-level.
spicy castle. It has multiple levels.
Oh.
There is a picture of it, actually, which I will show you. 1 second. Where's that? Is this a weird one? No, let me find another one. Hold on 1 second. This is sort of from like as you're coming up the last bend before you head up to those towers. Sort of a look at it from below. It's very, very tall. To give you an idea of like how big this place is, some of the largest modern or some of the largest castles that have been made like in like Europe are only maybe 200 feet tall at the tallest. Castle Ravenloft is almost twice as tall as that. The spires rising, the lower part of it about 200 feet, and then the spires going up almost to 400 feet.
Big.
Big, big, big. I think there'll probably be another picture of the gates too. Nope. I think this is good enough. The on that picture, you can see that the carriage would have stopped kind of to the left of that little tower across the bridge that goes to the castle itself. So it's up to you to cross the bridge on foot. Do you do so?
All right, guys, come on. I'll lead, but if somebody comes talking, maybe Ryles or somebody nice, do the thing.
Do the what?
Okay.
Yeah, the
I mean,
thing.
I
You know.
I've been working on my vampire jokes. They all suck.
Oh,
Hey.
Someone with a charisma score.
are you sure that's a good idea? That seems like a really bad idea to insult the really powerful vampire.
Yeah, but don't be too light on them. They might get burned.
Oh no, we're doomed.
Are we supposed to be on a new map? Because I'm still on the.
I'm gonna bring you guys a new map in 1 second, just making sure I didn't
Okay.
miss anything. Let's get a perception check as you guys head across the bridge, and then I'll bring you to the map.
Perception. Oh.
Okay.
All right, 1 second. Let's just adjusting the map. Yeah. Let's see what you guys got. Bimothy and Gretchen, as you guys cross the bridge, you can see hanging from like those gates ahead, kind of like between the two towers, like actually not between the towers before, but like the end towers, right before you're entering the courtyard. There seems to be a bunch of greenish slime kind of dripping from the portcullis above. Give me a nature check. Seems odd, out of place.
Oh my god.
Gretchen, you recognize it as green slime. It's not something that's sentient, but it is something that seems to. It's a almost supernatural slime that senses when people are nearby, and it sort of hunts by dropping on people, dripping on them as they pass under them. Sometimes it'll disguise itself in a puddle, and people will walk into it and just be dissolved by it. This is in an area on the
That sucks.
gates where you can avoid it if you just stay to one side.
I will point this out. Please don't touch that. I'll explain what it is.
Yeah, not too good.
Alrighty, I am going to bring you to a new map, but you'll only be here briefly. You'll be on the far left side as you enter the courtyard. These are the two towers. The slime is right here. I'll put a little green goo over there.
Goo.
Damn, it is massive.
That's a big castle.
Wow.
Mamma mia.
What's the measurements like here? Like for distance?
Yeah, they're 5-foot squares,
Okay.
so you are at the right size for the most part. So yeah, the entranceway is 20 feet across. The slime takes off about 10 feet on one side, and straight across. You can't quite see it on this map, but The castle has a little bit of an overhang, and you can see that there is a door straight ahead, double doors across the courtyard. The courtyard seems to be mostly empty, a few weeds kind of growing here and there. Question is, do you head to the front door, or do you wander off the beaten path?
I mean, when we were invited, might as well go into the front door.
Giggles is like nervous here.
Yeah. It's okay.
Bimothy is also nervous.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's all right, Giggles. You're fine.
But yes, I do comfort Giggles and Bimothy about the same.
I'll turn to Giggles and explain about to stay away from that green gunk as well.
Giggles is like, green bad, green bad.
Yeah.
Smell bad here. Smell lots of death here.
Yeah.
Most like, yeah.
Giggles wants to run far, far away.
Just stick close to Gretchen.
Giggles will stay close to Gretchen. Giggles loves Gretchen. All right, you guys approach the doors?
Yeah.
Or are you going off the reservation here? There's the gate behind you. You can just turn around and run if you want.
To the doors.
Ding dong.
To the
Which
doors.
door?
You cross the courtyard. It sounds as if Garrison is leading the way. Kind of heading through some cold fog, kind of swirls at your feet. You see sporadic flashes of lightning that kind of lance through the clouds above. A bit of thunder kind of shaking the ground as well. As you start to cross the courtyard, a little bit of a drizzle of rain starts pattering around you. The torches nearby kind of flutter to each, on the next to the door, they flutter and almost threaten to go out and leaving this place in darkness. They just manage to hold on to life. The entrance, the doors are open. There's warm light within, and you can see that there is high above the entrance to these doors. There is a round window with shards of broken glass kind of lodged in an iron frame. Beyond the doors, you can see that there is a sort of an entranceway. The entry is maybe about 20 feet by 20 feet. And when you step inside, you see overhead in the foyer here, there are 4 statues of dragons glaring down at you, their eyes kind of flickering in the torchlight. Beyond a second pair of doors, you can see another hallway, a larger one, supported by columns, and there is an elf in there, tall elf with a bit of a scar on his head, with dark hair and sort of dusky skin, and you realize that he's a dusk elf. Like those elves that you guys encountered outside of Vallaki. He's dressed very nicely. Almost like with a military type of outfit. He's got a sword at his side. And as you step into the foyer, he bows and he says, "The master has been waiting for you." You guys are now on a new map here.
I tip him a copper, just like one piece of copper.
And what's
At
your
this
name?
point,
sir?
you guys would be like right up here somewhere. Ryles throws him a copper, and he kind of snatches it out of the air, kind of nimbly, and looks at it, kind of like with a little bit of disgust. And he looks at Garrison, and he says, "I am Rahadin, Chamberlain to the Lord."
It's a pleasure to meet you, Rahadin. I'm not sure why we were sent for, but thank you for the ride. If this
Change
gesture...
his music.
This is perfect music for Strahd. Woo!
Is Strahd having a party? Is there a hookah in there?
Holy shit, we gotta change that music.
Is there a
All right, let's
hookah?
put on something else. In fact, there is When you ask if there is a party going on, he says, yes, a dinner party. And you
Oh.
are invited.
Oh, great.
In fact, you can hear nearby that there is music playing here, but seems to be coming from an organ of some kind, like a pipe organ. I'll put on some music.
If his copper offends you, I'm sorry. We don't have much here in this land.
Dinner party,
I
huh?
do
What's being
not
served?
need tips. I am paid quite well by the Lord. Now, if you would, come this way. I will bring you to the dining hall, where Strahd von Zarovich awaits you. And he starts walking to the south.
When he turns away from us, I'll go ahead and use Eyes of the Grave.
Okay.
Is he undead?
He is not undead. There is something strange, though. As you begin to follow him, those that are in the front, Garrison and Jareth, you're not too far behind him. And seemed to, like, over the sound of the organ, you can hear the faint sounds of screams, like the screams of hundreds or thousands of people, like a crowd of screaming voices, very, very distant. It seems to get a little bit louder the closer you are to Rahadin. He is not undead, as I just said, Gretchen. He seems to be alive, unless he has some way of thwarting your vision. And again, he seems to be a dust elf, like those who are held prisoner by, or, you know, sort of, not really prisoner, but prisoner in this realm by Strahd and the Vistani. He heads to the south.
I'm gonna cast protection from evil and good on myself.
All right.
That doesn't. How long-
He glances back at you and he says, "Such spells will not be necessary, but if it makes you feel better, by all means."
It's up to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Dinner would likely last longer than 10 minutes, my friend.
But the introductions should be within 10.
He kind of just tilts his head a little bit, like he finds this a little bit amusing. Here's a picture of him. It's a little bit larger over Discord. All right, give me 1 second here. I prepare one more thing. Actually, I think I'm good. All right. He brings you to another pair of double doors that head back to the west, and he pushes them open. And beyond is a dining hall. Let me open it up real quick. Actually, I'll give you a description, and then I'll open it up. There are giant crystal chandeliers that illuminate a magnificent chamber ahead of you. Pillars of stone against dull white marble walls support the ceiling above. In the center of the room, there's a long, heavy table that's covered with a fine white satin cloth. The table is laden with many delectable foods: roast beef, basted in savory sauce, roots and herbs of every taste, fruits and vegetables. Places are set for each of you, and also for 4 other figures, 4 women, sitting kind of at different spots around the table, all of them with pale skin, but of different sort of culture. One of them looks almost Vistani. The other one, another one, seems to be kind of dressed like someone from a like a desert country would, with sort of like sashes and like golden armbands. One wears a mask, which makes it kind of hard to see her face. The mask itself is made of, I'm not sure. It looks like bone, but it could be like a tiefling's skull or something like that over her own face. The last one wears a veil and seems to be sitting kind of the farthest away from the rest of them. Almost, and like she's not really paying attention. She doesn't look up as your group arrives at the doorway. She just stares at the table. On the far side of the room, between 2 floor-to-ceiling mirrors, there's a massive pipe organ. Its pipes blare out thunderous melody that gives you this feeling of despair, but also kind of like a bit of a greatness here. Like something was great, but yet sorrowful. Seated at the organ, facing away from you, is a single-caped figure that plays the keys with quite a lot of skill. I'm going to bring you guys to the map. I'll open this up now so you can see it.
Oh,
The room.
Oh boy.
it's
Yes.
him.
The Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, exactly. Very Phantom of the Opera like vibe going on here.
God, my boy.
Did you say that?
Oh, Nazoth. I love it.
Nazoth. Does
Investment
Nazoth? Does he actually do that?
Hell yeah, he does that.
All right, cool.
Strahd, my man. Thanks for inviting us.
The organ suddenly stops playing with a bloop from Discord. He freezes for a moment and then turns halfway around on his chair to look down, kind of down the table between these women and Nazoth at the doors. Welcome, Nazoth. It is good to see you again. Perhaps this time we will make a new pact. Hmm?
Maybe, but guys, get in here. You're being rude.
Do we just pick where we want to sit? Are our names assigned? How come we can't sit together? I feel uncomfortable.
Choose your own seats.
Mm,
Whichever one you wish.
is
The
that a
ladies
dog?
here,
I'm
they
gonna
are good company. Do not be afraid of them. They will not bite.
Alright, well, I'm gonna sit at this one just in case I get to sit next to at least one of my friends.
Should I change first? I'm not in my finest robes for dinner.
Maybe you could fix that
This
bald
will
spot.
do for now. Perhaps you should have thought of that on the ride up the hill.
Oh,
You are quite a
apologies.
bit dusty, though, having ridden on the outside. If you
Yes,
wish, I could do something about that.
I can do it just fine if your chamberlain can direct me to a place to quickly change.
Nonsense. Come in, come in. This place is dusty as it is. A little more dirt from the road will not harm anyone.
Is Esmeralda still with us?
She is. She's kind of the last one to come in. As she comes in, Strahd kind of sits up a little. Like she's the last one to kind of like, come in from your group. He sits up a little bit taller. He says, "You have brought a Vistani with you. This I did not see." And Esmeralda kind of just stares at him across the room. Kind of like unreadable. Seems as if Strahd was almost a little bit surprised by her presence. He seemed to be aware of the rest of you, but she, like, maybe he wasn't ready for her.
Don't we all love surprises? Does this table have another leaf? Bring
It
that
does
bad boy out
not.
here.
That is unfortunate.
All right. I'll go.
Rahadin is at the door, and he kind of says, "I was expecting one fewer, Rahadin." And he seems a little upset. Rahadin kind of bows to him and says, "I was unaware of this until they arrived just now, my lord. I apologize." The one woman that's sitting at the edge of the table here says, "I can return to my room." She starts to get up, and Strahd says, "Sit, Sasha. Be pleasant. Be
It's
good
okay
for
if Sasha
our
wants to go.
guests here."
Do we recognize one of these women as one of the is one of these women one of the ones we helped put together?
No.
Okay.
Strahd says,
Ahsoka?
"Go, find another chair, Rahadin." And he bows and leaves.
Sasha said she was gonna go. Esmeralda could just trade seats with her and
No,
be
she
all
can
okay.
stay. All of you stay. Please, please. Find a seat. And if there is not one yet, you can wait. One will be here soon.
Esmeralda, here, you take my seat. I'll wait. That's the nice thing to do.
Esmeralda slides into the seat next to Gretchen.
And are Jareth and Nazoth in
They're
the same
fighting over a chair at the end of the
Are we?
table, it looks like.
It's
Yeah,
musical
there's only
chairs.
one
You
chair
sitting
there.
in my lap, Jareth?
No, I would assume I would
Roll
be
initiative. Let's see who
standing.
gets the chair. I think Nazoth has already taken the chair because
When
Jareth
do
was
we have-
trying to get a room.
When do you have to sit next to Strahd?
Yeah, Jareth's going to have to sit next to Strahd or stand.
I'm just waiting for a chair to get here, I assume.
All right. There is a chair. It's right over here. Strahd says, he kind of gestures to you, Jareth. "My prince, one noble to another. You should sit at the end of the table, right here, near me." And he touches the top of the chair, kind of caressing it.
Isn't that your chair, Lord Strong?
"I have this one here. No need for me. I do not eat. In this way, I can wander the room, speak to those politely, without having to yell across the table."
If that is what you wish, then I will take the chair.
Good, good. Moment later, Radin comes and he's got another chair. This one doesn't really match the area here, and it's kind of a little bit weathered. But he shoves it in next to Nazoth at the end of the table over here. And as he does, again, those that he comes nearby, like those, now that the organs are gone, that weird echoing sort of, crowd of screams arrives with him as he approaches the table, leaves a chair, and then he steps back away and it fades again.
Before I
As he
sit,
does, he closes the doors.
can I cast Prestidigitation on my clothes before I sit?
Are you asking or are you doing?
That's what I'd like to do.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. One must be clean at dinner.
Yet so many dinners end up messy here. He smiles, and you can see that he's got like those vampire fangs.
Let us hope
Mr.
it's quite
Strahd, sir.
cordial.
Let us hope. Let us hope. Let me introduce our dining friends here. He gestures to the woman kind of right to the left, the one that looks like she might have Vistani blood right here. This is Anastasia. Let me bring her name up. Anastasia is my third wife. As you can see, she is striking to behold. She is a noble, but her house, unfortunately, is now extinct. Anastasia, who is sitting right next to Bimothy, she smiles at Bimothy and kind of gives you a sultry look, sort of like almost like she's trying to seduce Bimothy with her eyes.
Attaboy, Bim.
Like maybe people like do a very awkward smile and then kind of like, just like as our eyes will kind of try to like look away, and kind of keep looking back and kind of creeped out. Yeah.
He He then gestures to the woman that's kind of between Jareth and Gretchen. He says, "This is Ludmilla. She was my second wife. She is a mysterious woman from far off lands." Ludmilla kind of just nods at that. Seems kind of tall, statuesque, not a whole lot of emotion from her. But she seems to be studying your group, almost kind of looking down her nose at the rest of you. He then gestures across the table between Bimothy and Ryles. That is my dear young Valenta. Such passion. And that's the woman. She's dainty, like maybe 5 feet tall, and very thin. She's wearing this faded gown that looks like it may have been a wedding gown at one point, and this mask that's shaped like a skull. And she giggles when Strahd points her out. She looks over at Ryles, who's maybe the closest thing to being like her height, and she's like, "You're cute. I like your hair. That's a Who's your barber?" She says, kind of reaching out for the bald spot.
Oh, it's kind of a new style thing. It's the new trend.
You let her touch
If
her
you
head.
look at the prints, yeah, that's fine.
Her hands are like all over your in your hair now, like trying to like make it like she's just like all over you. Like, this is so wonderful, so amazing. We should cut your hair like this, she says, kind of looking across the table towards the last woman who's been quiet the whole time. You can see through her veil that she's very pale, but she's also drawn as if she's starving. Garrison and Esmeralda are the closest to her. Nazoth is pretty close too. And she doesn't look well. These women all are extremely pale, and you're able to see when they smile that they have vampire teeth. Can't really tell that much with this other woman, but Strahd kind of turns to her last, and he says, last but not least, and actually the first of my wives, Sasha. Sasha has come up especially for this meeting tonight, for this dinner. She graces us with her presence." And he kind of chuckles a little bit. And she just continues kind of like staring at the table, like not saying anything.
Lord Strahd,
Yes.
have you been to the abbot yet?
His mood changes kind of from a smile to a bit of a scowl. Indeed, I have.
Ah,
That foolish abbot.
so I
Do not worry about him.
And what
He
about
is
her?
inconsequential. What his creation,
Yes.
the abomination that he built?
Yes.
I tore it
told him
limb
it was a
from
bad
limb
idea.
and burned the body.
Ah.
Perhaps he will start anew, and perhaps the next one will be better. But none of them will be good enough. And he kind of smiles at Jareth at that.
Well, I hope you left the dress in one piece. We did work hard to get that for you.
It burned with the body, unfortunately.
No, that's too bad.
Indeed. So much work you did for him to help him out. So much work wasted.
Yes, we tried to help her with her writing as well.
Did you know?
For the record, I told him it was a bad idea. I mean, the nerve of these people trying to replace your wife. I mean,
Garrison and Nazoth and Ryles, who were close to Sasha, you're able to see a little bit enough through this veil that Sasha bears a little, like a vague resemblance to the images you've seen of Tatiana. Not exactly, but like the hair color is right, and like the eyes are, you can see her eyes are kind of green with a bit of a kind of a red tinge to them, which is a little off. Tatiana did not have that. But out of all of his wives here, she's the only one that seems to be at all like the one he seems to be obsessed with, the woman he seems to be obsessed with.
What does the food look like? Does it look like vampire food?
No, I described it earlier. This is the best meal
Oh, well,
that you have seen since you've come to Barovia.
I'm gonna eat it then.
There's beef here, there's
Yum, yum.
meats, there's vegetables, there's sauces. It's as if one of the greatest, like it's as if a noble chef had prepared a meal for a noble gathering. Yes,
So,
yes. Eat up, Nazoth. It is all good.
so
Nothing here
Sasha,
will poison you. Try the wine as well. I have the ancient vintages, those that you cannot get anymore.
Sasha, was it?
Excellent year.
Huh?
Sasha looks your direction, but she doesn't say anything. Just kind of quietly looking at you through the sash. Or the
Thanks.
veiling.
Thanks for joining us. What are you normally doing if you don't come to dinner?
She glances towards Strahd as you're talking to her, and then she kind of whispers, almost under her breath, "Stay in my room." Give me an insight check for Garrison. Nazoth and Ryles can roll this too. They're close enough to kind of read Sasha. It's a little bit hard because of the veil, so you have to be kind of close.
I got a 21.
21. Garrison, you sense a hint of defiance in her. Like she said it very quietly, like that she stays in her room, and maybe Nazoth and Ryles think that maybe it was just a statement, like she doesn't leave very often. But Garrison, you sense that like this is a punishment or something, and that she's resentful of it.
Oh, castle, huh? Then you gotta be stuck in a room.
I just realized there was an image of Strahd at his organ, his pipe organ. I'll put that up too.
I'll raise my glass of wine and attempt to clink with Anastasia, Ludmilla, and Strahd.
Strahd doesn't have a glass, but when you pick one up and toast with Anastasia, she raises her glass, and Ludmilla does as well. Anastasia is kind of turned towards you, Jareth, kind of away from Bimothy, who's I think veering away from Anastasia at this point.
Kind of trying to he's kind of he's having a problem because he's kind of getting hit on by this Anastasia, and so he kind of leans away, but then he turns to the other direction and sees this really creepy person with the bone mask. So he kind of he's kind of going back and forth between the two of them. He's he doesn't know what to do.
Right.
So he's just kind of he's kind of very he's very scrunched up in his own chair.
When you edge away from Anastasia, you kind of bump into Valenta here next to you, who's kind of all over Ryles, just running her hands through his hair and on his face. She's like, "You're so cute," she says to Ryles. And when you kind of bump into her, she kind of, for a moment, she turns and hisses at you in her mask, through the mask,
he's like, ah!
And you see teeth and red eyes, as if she's like a startled cat.
Yeah, and yeah, Bimothy is visibly kind of curled up and almost shaking a little bit. He's absolutely terrified of what's going on in here. There's a lot of scary people in here, and yeah, he feels kind of trapped in between a lot of them. So he's just kind of ah!
All right. While that is happening, Anastasia is toasting with Jareth. But Jareth, like I said, Strahd doesn't have a glass to toast with, and when you turn towards him, he just kind of bows his head a little bit, but does not retrieve a glass or have anything to toast to you with. Do you say anything? What's the toast? What do you toast to?
To new beginnings and friendships.
Crushing our enemies, seeing them driving before us, and hearing the lamentation of the women.
Whoa. Here. When I was a kid, my mother taught us at the dinner table before we eat something nice to do with friends and new guests say something nice about the person to your right. So I'm gonna start. This is my friend Nazoth here, and he's got a great sense of humor. So I think everybody give it up for Nazoth, all right?
Strahd kind of chuckles as you're making a toast to Nazoth, and he says, "But is he your friend?"
Hold on, wait. It's not. Nazoth gets to go yet, sir. It's not your turn.
Hey, this is
Sure.
my castle. I make the rules. Please speak
That's
when
not-
you wish.
That's not
For
really how
you.
my mom said the game worked.
You do
Jareth,
not make the
Jareth.
rules here.
My mom.
At least
Drew, we're talking to.
not
Trying to have a
yet.
nice toast.
He gives Garrison sort of a stern look, but he isn't like really saying much more than than that. Nazoth, what do you say? Do you turn to Ryles? You playing the game that Garrison has started?
Actually, I'm gonna answer Strahd. I'm gonna be like,
Alright.
hey, friends, acquaintances, meat shields. I mean, it's all the line blurs, you know.
Yes, it does. I like blurred lines in my new friends.
Well, that doesn't sound ominous.
Nazoth, just in case you're confused, you're supposed to say something nice about Ryles there.
Oh yeah, I like that he's short. Okay. Anyway.
Well, Ryles turns to Valenta and says, I like that Valenta is the perfect height. Anyone that is taller than this height right here is a freak. Bam.
Valenta giggles at that. She's like, yeah, tall people are freaks.
Yeah.
We should all be short and fuzzy. She grabs your head.
Oh, okay. All right.
This
all right,
one's
calm
kind of
down
fuzzy too. She
I'm
turns
pretty
around
sure
and looks
Strahd
at
is the tallest person in this room, so
there.
Strahd is pretty tall. He's maybe like 6'2", 6'3". I don't know if anybody. I mean, Garrison is probably tall as a hobgoblin. And I don't know how
Yeah, I was
tall. I
mostly
mean,
looking
Bimothy
at
when he's
Garrison.
panicking, he gets real big.
When he's normally normal size, he's like 6 foot.
How tall is Garrison?
He's 5'6".
Oh,
Wait. That doesn't
he's a
track.
short king.
I don't know. I put this in there. I don't know where all these stats came from.
He's
he
5
also-
foot. He's 5 foot 6 feet tall. He's about 4 feet wide.
Right, like a truck.
Valenta turns to Bimothy and she says, "This one's fuzzy too, but only here on his chinny chin chin." And she reaches out to try to grab your goatee beard.
Bimothy will freak out and kind of push himself back, and then he'll like flop the chair back so he'll like hit the ground.
Just change your token.
Yeah, he'll freak out. He's like, ah! And he kind of pushes the table, and he'll fall back in the chair and hit the ground. It's like, ah!
Does Bimothy then continue on and say something nice about the lady next to her? As you're on the ground, like scrambling, she looks down and says, "Nothing nice to say about me."
You are
Oh,
a...
come. She looks at you and her eyes kind of gleam a little bit. Bimothy, give me a charisma saving throw.
Ooh,
Oh,
I have a lot of charisma. Charisma saving throw. All right.
Oh, nice.
All right, 1 second. That might not be enough. And I may have given you the wrong one, blah, but give me 1 second to check the DC.
Your scrunkle.
Oh, no, it's a wisdom saving throw. Sorry. And the DC is 16. Does that change?
Okay.
Is wisdom better?
No, it would be. I know wisdom's the same. It's -1.
Alright.
So yeah, it would be the same roll. It would be a 15.
She is quite charming. You're charmed, in other words.
Okay. Yeah, she's very, I don't know, very, very beautiful. I don't know. It's what about you? Just really catches my eye.
She reaches a hand out to help you back up. into your chair. She says, "Tisk, tisk, Valenta. Don't startle the guests." And Valenta's already kind of turned back to Ryles. He's kind of cozying up to him. What did Bimothy say? What was the nice thing that he said about her?
He said she was very beautiful. And something
Thank
about
you.
her just caught her eye. I don't mean to put it next time. Sorry. I was missing this new character.
She turns away from Bimothy to Jareth, continuing with this game that Garrison has said. And she says, "I wish I knew more about you. You seem very noble." Is that a compliment?
Sorry, who's
That
saying
was to
that?
Jareth. Anastasia is saying that to Jareth.
Well, I apologize. I didn't fully introduce myself. I am Prince Jareth Pavarel, the Crown Prince of Lithium.
Ah, yes. Indeed, a noble prince. She kind of glances past Jareth to Strahd, and Strahd just kind of slowly nods. Does Jareth say something nice about Ludmilla? Or Strahd? Or who does it go to at this point? Strahd's technically not really at the table.
But Jareth is to Strahd's right.
Am I?
Yeah.
Depends on which way you're sitting.
In this situation, Mr. Strahd, you're supposed to say something nice about Prince Jareth.
This is gonna be fun.
I don't think that's how it works, though.
He's to your right, sir.
But wouldn't that mean that Anastasia should have said something nice to me?
Yeah, she kind of screwed it up, but that would have been rude.
We did it, boys. We confused Strahd.
But is that a good
Well,
thing?
our job here is done.
Strahd turns to Jareth and he says, "Your kingdom will be better off without you." And he loses all humor when he says it.
Not a compliment.
No.
Just say nice things.
Oh no, he didn't.
Snap, snap, snap.
Jareth, don't take the bait.
Yeah.
What does Jareth do?
I turned to Ludmilla. Is there a better picture of her?
Is
You
there
don't
a better
like that
picture?
one?
No, it's just so
Yeah, there is
small.
actually.
I can't see. It's my.
1 second.
Zoom in.
I do have a full. I'm gonna give you full pictures of all of them. Actually, I got
Okay.
pictures of all the brides.
The
Let's
closer
see
I
if this
zoom in on
opens up in-
Ludmilla, the more
All right.
cross-eyed she looks.
In Discord, there's all of them now. You should be able to pick them up as you wish. I think that Ludmilla is the last one.
Oh. What long fingers and nails she has.
Uh-huh. Told you. They look like vampires.
You have lovely braids. Is it a cultural thing?
It is. My people decorate them and wear them long. The longer they are, the greater your station is.
You must be
Thank you.
quite great then.
I am. And she looks kind of across the table at Anastasia. Almost like a challenging type of look, like I'm better than you. And you hear from Valenta, who's next to Bimothy, go, "Ooh." And she just giggles. And Strahd ignores this and kind of looks at Ludmilla. And then kind of his eyes dart to Gretchen. And Ludmilla kind of gives a bit of a sniff, like she's kind of being forced to do something she doesn't want to. And she looks towards Gretchen and she says, "You have a wonderful complexion. So full of life. I can see you blushing there. She almost it's like she's sniffing you, like you're the fine meal.
Well, thank you. Esmeralda, I love how patient you are. So
She
patient.
chuckles at that, kind of like snorts almost.
Mhm.
Well, she glances over at Garrison and says, well, you did say it had to be something nice, not necessarily something true. But she turns back to Gretchen and kind
It's
of
more
nods
like a
and
hope.
smiles at you. Yeah. She takes that for what it's worth. And when she looks back at Gretchen, she nods and kind of gives a bit of a smile. And then she turns to Sasha. And Esmeralda's like at a loss. And just looks at her like, what to say about this woman here? You have wonderful eyes. Very beautiful. Very much like eyes I've seen somewhere else. And she kind of glances over towards Strahd. And Strahd kind of sits up a little bit taller on his piano bench, kind of leaning back against the keys. Sasha just sits there quietly, and she turns towards Garrison. But before she can say anything, Strahd is standing up. And he says, perhaps that is enough for now. All of you eat. Sasha, with me. And he steps. When he stands up from the bench, he vanishes, just kind of wavering out of sight. Sasha stands from the table, kind of stepping away from the chair. And as she does so, she also vanishes into like a mist. And you realize the two of them have kind of withdrawn somewhere else in a gaseous form.
Right, so now that they're gone, girls level with me. We were invited to dinner to be dinner, right?
Anastasia says, no, not this night. And Valenta says, I asked if we could just have a nibble, but he said no. This one looks scrumptious. She's all over Ryles again.
Yeah, he's snack size too.
Shut up.
So, what do you ladies like to do for fun around here?
Nice. Casual conversation.
The things that we do are not meant for mortals. At least not most of them. We do dance, though. Our lord is an amazing musician. We tell stories, we read, we tend to our needs. What do you do for fun?
Kinda some of the same things. Ryles tells stories, and we take care of our needs. I try to just, act on my impulses. Try to keep things lively.
Valenta,
what if we
all across the table, is like, I like this one. I like this one too. She points at Garrison. Can I have him? Can I have him? Can I have them both?
no,
This one
no.
tells stories? Tell us a story, Ryles. Tell us a story.
Oh,
Yeah,
please
maybe later.
tell us a funny story, Ryles. This is a perfect place.
So there once was a very uncomfortable dinner, and then he starts riffing off of that. I don't have anything, but he just like tells like some random story about what can I tell? What kind of story? An awkward dinner where I don't have anything. Damn it.
See, this fills up most of our time. He's
Yeah,
not very
yeah. He
decisive.
just stammers.
So
I'm a
that's
roll
really what we
performance
do
15.
is we just kind of wait until he spits one out.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes longer. You want, yeah.
Over under comes out before dessert. What do you think?
Question: is anyone eating?
That's a
I
good
am
question.
I've
I
been
want to know
eating.
that. Nazoth has been eating this
Yeah.
whole time. He's shoving food down, and it's great. This is the best food you've had since you've come to Barovia. Probably the best food you've had in even a few months before you came here. Might even be one of the best meals you've ever had. Unless Nazoth is the kind of guy that spends a lot of money on good food.
Better than the meat pies.
Well, let's go.
Not so. There is one exception. Now that I think about it, there's probably one thing for those that ate the meat pies that is better than this, and that might be the meat pies.
Hey, how come you guys don't have meat pies here?
That is common food. Only those commoners in the villages eat such things. It is beneath us. Unless it
Have
is,
you ever tried?
of course, a blood pie. And Valenta laughs at that. Blood pie. I love blood pie.
I mean,
Are
you should
the
really
ladies
try
eating?
one of those pies.
They're not. They're not eating. They're holding wine cups, which have, you hope, wine in them, but they're not eating. When oh, sorry,
What's
go
your
ahead.
sign? I was just gonna ask Valenta what her sign was, but no, you go ahead.
Her sign. What is your sign? That's a good question, actually. Let's
You can totally interrupt this, Rob. Don't worry. I don't even know what the sign.
I think if you ask her what her sign is, she would probably say something like
I'm guessing not Virgo.
Virgo? No. It would probably something like probably say something like icy roads ahead.
Ah, okay. I'm a little bit one way myself.
All right, you guys. The conversation doesn't really go very well with the ladies. Like they're talking to you, but it's obvious that they're sort of. It seems like they're digging for information about you. Ludmilla is next to Gretchen, and Gretchen, give me a wisdom saving throw. As she's kind of looks at you at one point, and you see a little bit of a gleam in her eyes. Bimothy has already kind of fallen into the sway of one person. Ryles, you give me a check too for Valenta. Gretchen, you realize that you are that what they're trying to do, and you steel yourself. And Ludmilla fails to charm you. You look over and you see that Bimothy is kind of just given like dewy eyes at Anastasia, and Ryles is doing the same. Like he's letting Valenta get way too familiar with him.
Oh, I have counter charm. I thought it was just for me, but it's me and any friendly creatures within 30 feet of me have advantage.
You have to
Against.
use it though, right?
Do I? Oh, as an action. Yeah.
Is it as an action? Like you have to kind of
Yeah.
like act on it.
It says as an action you can perform until the end of your next turn. So I don't know if.
Would you have been using this?
I only if I had noticed that Bimothy was charmed.
Does it get rid of a charm that's already there?
I don't think it does, but I might have done it at that point. If I'd known it was an action, I would have done it for everyone else.
All right, so you can roll again for yourself. Bimothy, I think, is
Okay.
already kind of the victim here, and Gretchen is fine. She's already made the save.
I haven't even done the roll yet, so.
Oh, I thought that 15 was it. Oh, wow.
No. Yeah.
Nice.
Sorry, it was a wisdom save, but I think you're still going to make it.
Oh, wisdom save, very different. Well, it's a +1, but it's still very high.
It's still going to be over the threshold.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask
All right.
Anastasia a question. Let me have a second.
Sure. Go ahead. Ask her.
If you don't mind me asking, how did you become Strahd's third wife?
She looks at you and kind of smiles a little bit. And she says, Because he became bored with his second wife. And she glances across the table at Ludmilla, who's just stone still. Because Ludmilla had been introduced as the second wife.
I look back between the two of them and say, and this was something you both wanted at the time.
Ludmilla snorts at that. Anastasia just chuckles. If you want to give me an insight check, you can. Gretchen, you're right next to them. If you're listening in on this, you can roll too. I think you guys already know the score here, but maybe I can tell you a little bit more. Those are good enough. These two are kind of wearing their feelings on their sleeve, and you can tell that Ludmilla and Anastasia hate each other, like pretty deeply. And that Anastasia holds like her position over Ludmilla as maybe being a bit favored. However, you also know that there is a fourth wife. That Valenta is like the most recent of them. Which means that Strahd also grew bored with Anastasia at some point.
So I guess my question between the two of them was, you were up for this marriage at the time?
Strahd has a lot to offer, Ludmilla states. And Anastasia says, indeed, yes. Immortality. A position at his side. Power. And they both seem to sort of agree on that.
Yet it turns to boredom for him and yourselves eventually.
Perhaps for some, Anastasia said, but Ludmilla says he'll come back around. He loses interest in everyone, eventually. Okay, she kind of glares at Anastasia.
But not Tatiana. They
both kind of stop at this point, and like the mirth goes out of Anastasia's eyes, and Ludmilla just kind of looks at you. How do you know that name?
We've heard a little bit about the Lord, and...
From where?
Around. All around. Books.
What books? Books that you have with you?
She mentioned in the book I got from the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pull out my book.
Let me see that, Ludmilla says. She holds out her hand.
I hand it to her carefully.
She takes it and starts to crack it open. And within the first few sentences, you can see her eyes kind of getting big. This is written in his own hand. This does not belong to you. You are a thief.
No, I found it abandoned.
Abandoned, indeed. That I highly doubt. Valenta is still messing with Ryles over on the far side, and Anastasia is just watching this, seeing Ludmilla kind of look at the book. And it seems as if Anastasia is hungry to sort of, get her hands on this as well, but doesn't want to make a scene.
What can you tell me about the writing?
She slowly closes the book. She says, I think you already know.
Confirmation is always good.
I will say nothing further, except that this does not belong to you. It belongs in the Lord's hands.
Well,
it is his book.
I attempt to grab a book, then I shall give it to him.
You start to reach for it, and her eyes kind of flash at you, Jareth. Ryles, are you still doing your performance thing?
Yeah, counter charm.
I think it don't really matter, because I think Jareth already has advantage on charms. He might even be immune as an elf. I'm not entirely certain. What's it say on your character sheet?
Advantage against being charmed.
All right, give me a wisdom save throw. You'll probably be fine, because you're a druid and an elf. And then also give me an athletics check. Yeah, you are not charmed. Didn't think that you would be. But give me an athletics check. 7. She's a little surprised at you grabbing for it, but she is a lot stronger than you expected, and she tears it back from your hands. And let's roll initiative real quick and see what happens next.
Alrighty.
Oh,
Here
shit.
we
Didn't see
go.
that
She
coming.
pulls it
Here
away
we
from
go.
Jareth and hisses at him with like her fangs kind of coming out.
Are we all rolling initiative or just those two?
You can get involved in this if you want to.
I'm not going to get involved unless I have to. Not in Strahd's castle.
The other Anastasia and Valenta don't seem to be getting involved in this either. Valenta's kind of looked over and just sort of like kind of cackling, just laughing at the situation. And Anastasia is just sitting up straight like she doesn't know what to do.
I'll stay out of it.
Yeah, I'll also stay out of it.
So should I pull? All right. So let's go here. Ludmilla is the first to go between Jareth and her. She has the book in her hands, and she as she stands up, her body turns to mist. The book with her, and she vanishes into the air and starts. You see like the mist flying away towards the ceiling. Actually, towards the doors here. Goes over about. It's over kind of over Garrison's head at the moment. I'll leave her token out there, but she is a mist.
That wasn't a spell that I could counterspell, right? Because
No,
I
not a
recently
spell.
found out that with magic secrets, I could have always grabbed counterspell. I just didn't do it, so now I finally have it.
All right.
Yeah.
Jareth, you're up.
I turned to Anastasia.
Cloud, moving away.
How rude. Takes the book.
He's just watching like Ludmilla like flying off. And she kind of looks towards you, like she's just like with an unreadable expression.
If she thinks I'm gonna chase her, she is sorely mistaken. All I
I
said,
would not suggest chasing her.
I just said that I would give it back to Lord Strahd. Yet she seems like she wants to do it herself. She could have said that herself without disappearing.
Anastasia just kind of leans over towards Bimothy and says, "You do not have to explain to me. This is between you and her and the Lord."
Well then, I'll turn to the mist. Come, sit down again, Ludmilla. I'm not going to take it from you if you wish to keep it.
She is already kind of like sweeping out the door at this point. Like she does not, if she can hear you, she doesn't respond, and the mist does not stop. We'll pull out of initiative, as one vampire is gone, as well as a book. You guys had a lot of information on Strahd. You've already read this book, by the way, so losing it is not the end of the world, but remembering things from it might be a little challenging.
Right.
And Ludmilla is now out here somewhere.
Is the chamberman around?
You don't see him. He closed the door and stayed outside.
Lady Anastasia, could you point me towards the restroom?
Let's see if there even is one.
Restrooms in Castle Ravenloft.
Even if it's just a hole in the ground, I had some wine and must relieve myself.
I mean, chamber pots probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it would be a chamber pot thing. And you would be directed somewhere. Hold on a second. Let's see. You know what? This is going to get overly complicated very quickly because there ain't no bathroom here that I'm seeing.
Wow. What about a closet that you can put a chamber pot in?
That's what I'm looking for. That the chamber pot has arrived by the sound of the music.
I know. So dramatic.
It's a gold chamber pot being carried in on a silk pillow.
You've asked the one question that Strahd had no toilets built in this place, apparently.
Looks like you're getting this corner, bud.
There is a place to go here, though. Hold on a second.
We just blame the map builder.
Yeah, you can just blame the map builder. What is this? This place is so big that finding the bathroom is going to be a pain in the ass.
I'm sorry.
Alrighty. I found a place where there would be one.
Alright.
You ask for the restroom, and when you do, Anastasia is kind of like at a loss. She's like, I wouldn't even know where to look for one. You don't even know if vampires use restrooms. And you go to the door and press it open. You find Rahadin sitting outside.
Radim,
You put him back on the map here.
can you point me towards the restroom?
Are you actually looking for a restroom, or are you snooping?
No, I'm actually looking for a restroom. I think I had too much wine.
Follow me. And he leads you down the side corridor and up some stairs. And let me bring you in the next place, and I'll show you where the restroom is going to be at. I think it's here. He brings you up a set of circular stairs, and about maybe about 20 feet up, there's a door. The stairs continue higher up into the castle itself. He opens this door, and inside is a room that's full of dusty scrolls and tomes that are lining the walls, and a lot of other scrolls and books like scattered on the floor. There are a bunch of heavy chests fitted with sturdy iron locks here. And the only unobscured area on the floor is right in front of like the doors, where like when you open this door, like the doors kind of push these things out of the way. In the center of the clutter, there is a great black desk, and a figure crouches atop a stool right next to it, scratching on a seemingly endless scroll of paper with a dry quill pen. There is nearby there's a tasseled rope that hangs from the ceiling. And you see also in this room in the corner that there is a chamber pot just within room, or just you can see that the figure here is actually chained to the desk. And the chain is maybe about 10 feet long, just long enough for this guy to get to the chamber pot. And 1 second, I'll bring you to this new map, and you'll see it's about the middle of the map. There's a door that also leads up the other side of the room. But that's closed. Bing! If you were looking to see where it was. The guy at the table kind of looks up for a moment as the door opens, and Rahadin says to him, "Someone needs to use your chamber pot." And Rahadin gestures towards it.
Does he say anything?
No. But his gesture says, take a shit, or whatever you want to do.
Sorry, which corner is it in?
We're going to put it over in the books over here.
Okay. If you would turn away, good sir.
He's not really looking.
Alright. I'll do my business.
All right. You've now left a dookie. There's now new treasures for people to claim in Castle Ravenloft. Chamber pot.
Wow. Rahim, is there a sink around here to wash my hands?
No,
Really?
that is not.
What about in the kitchen?
You're not a spellcaster?
Well,
You're not
yes.
claiming the ability to clean yourself with a spell. I'm
Yes.
starting to think
But I am a
that
guest.
this was not about using the restroom at all.
No, I'm a guest. I would assume the amenities would be provided. But if that's the way you're going to be, then. And boom, I cast prestidigitation on my hands.
Good. Let us return. I am certain that the Lord will be arriving again soon to speak with your companions.
I turn to the figure. Thank you for letting me borrow your chamber font.
He doesn't say anything more than that. He seems a little worried, and then he just goes back to work. All right. Jareth is only gone for maybe about 5 minutes before he returns. I'm assuming, unless you're going to ambush this dude and try to go somewhere else in the place.
No, Jareth actually had to use the restroom.
All right. He brings you back to the dining hall, and opens the doors for you and kind of ushers you back inside, and then waits outside himself again. The back in the room. What has everyone else been doing in this 5 minutes? Like, Jareth kind of walked off. Is anybody worried about him kind of being in the castle by himself? Is any kind of note on that? Esmeralda's kind of looks at Garrison, like, what is he up to? Maybe even whispers that to Gretchen.
Knowing Jareth, he probably actually had to use the restroom. So I wouldn't worry too much.
That's the problem with all of you. You don't worry enough.
Still worry, just not too much. He probably isn't poking. Well, maybe he is.
Suddenly, Strahd reappears in the room, almost out of nowhere. You didn't see a mist or anything come this time. He just seems to kind of manifest right next to the organ. Well, my friends, this dinner was enlightening, but I must apologize. I have other business to attend to. If you wish to stay the night, and I highly suggest it, because it is dark on the roads outside and dangerous, Rahadin can assist you to the guest rooms.
Any chance of a tour in the morning? You have a lovely castle.
We will see in the morning.
Let's talk about this, guys. We really want to sleep here?
Can you really say no?
I'm
What
down
time of
for
day?
it.
He's
I
giving
think
us
this
the
is a lovely place.
Bimothy.
I mean, if Bimothy likes it, what could be wrong? And if the food is as good as you say it is, imagine what the lodging must be like. Is there continental
Bimothy. It's an
breakfast?
imposter. I'm just kidding.
What
I
time of
highly
night is it,
suggest
bro?
that you stay. It would be
Well, that's-
dangerous for you to leave.
Well, could you
I think the
carriage
phone was
take
quite
us?
capable.
Insight check on that dangerous.
Yeah.
Well,
Could your carriage take us back to town? Would it be safer in that?
the horses, they are but mortal creatures. And wolves prowl the hills.
Wow. Surprising that for.
Have no fear, though. I am a man of my word, and I will not harm you while you are in my castle this evening, as long as you do not cause trouble.
Oh, well, that's what I'm worried about. Somebody will probably cause trouble if we stay here.
Then we will see if you can be noble. We'll
Is
see
there
if you have honor, if you promise not to take advantage of my hospitality. Then
would
you
it
will
be
be quite
rude?
safe.
Could we stay here in this room? We just put our bedrolls out.
You would be more comfortable in the suites above.
I definitely would be.
There
All right,
are
let's stay here then.
There is a rest room up there. Also, a nice comfortable bed. Large chairs for you to rest in. And quite a view.
Do like views. All right. Can we share a room? I've been having a rough time at night.
You can. There is a sitting room and a bedroom. You can stay in one or the other.
Just one thing, Lord Strahd.
Yes.
You gave us your word you wouldn't harm us this evening. Can you give us also your word that you won't harm us tomorrow morning? Forgive me, but
You
I'm
will be
also
safe
familiar with that monkey paw
for
nonsense.
the extent of your visit to my castle. And I will return you to where the coach recovered you.
Well, then I see no
Nice
reason why
and
we
safe
shouldn't
and
stay.
sound.
All right.
Alrighty. He doesn't say anything, but he gives a little bit of a gesture, and you realize that he had cast like a spell, and those that have a decent Arcana check would realize it's like a message spell. And he must have sent this to Rahadin, because a moment later the door is open, and his chamberlain stands waiting. He says, "Take them to the guest chambers in the tallest tower." And Rahadin kind of bows and says, "It will be done. What should I do with Escher? He is staying in those quarters now." And Strahd says, "Send him to the familiars." And Rahadin says, "Of course, my lord. I will let him know." He looks to your group and then gestures out the doors. "If you would, follow me, and I will take you to the guest rooms."
Thank you for the meal, Lord Strahd.
He just bows to you.
Pleasant company, Anastasia. You do pass
"Yes, quite," she says.
my compliments on to Ludmilla when you see her.
She says nothing about that. Has kind of turned her attentions almost completely to Bimothy. And she says, Might I stay with this one for a little bit longer? I won't harm him."
Sure, I'm fine with it.
God.
She kind of leans in to Bimothy, and she's a little uncomfortably close, but Bimothy doesn't seem to bother you. Maybe bothers everybody else in the room. Strahd kind of raises an eyebrow at it, and as Anastasia kind of looks at him, and you wonder if maybe she's trying to make him a little bit jealous or something.
Way to go, Bimothy. Stealing a vampire's lady.
Valenta, when she realizes you guys are be taking up the guest room, she's like, "Oh, I'll show you the way." She hops up and kind of grabs your hand and pulls you like through the
Shit.
doors.
Shit. Thought we had it out. Okay.
Come on, Bimothy. I think you're really tired, right?
I think I'm good here. I like hanging out with Anastasia. She's nice.
I will not harm him. Do not worry. I respect the Lord's wishes.
He's add boobs to the equation, and suddenly he's got the courage of a knight.
That's been the problem this whole time.
We have a quotes thing here, don't we?
Yep.
That
In
definitely
Google
needs
Drive.
to go in there. I think the last one's from Garrison. I'm putting it in there right now.
Like, is this an active effect? Could I dispel it, or is it like some kind of ability?
It's an ability.
Okay.
Give the kid his moment.
Actually, there's two quotes now. Third. What was that again? You add boobs to the equation?
Yes.
It's add boobs to the equation. Suddenly he's got the courage of a knight.
And a little charm. A little bit of magic, doesn't it?
Alrighty.
Well, I don't think we don't know he's charmed, right? Or do we know that?
There was no spell that was obviously cast, but he's acting a little bit weird. I don't know if Nazoth cares.
And I know Ludmilla tried to do something to me, so
Right. Strahd, if he is, if Strahd wanted to kill you, he probably could have right now. And he has claimed that you guys are safe in his castle.
I believe him.
oh, we're gonna wake up with a vampire Bimothy.
Right, when you kind of pause for a second, Gretchen, and Esmeralda's probably like starting to move away and kind of looking back as well. And Strahd says, "Have no fear, he will not be harmed. We'll harm him. No one here will harm him." And he looks at Anastasia, kind of like with a look, like a determined like look.
All right. See you in the morning, Bim.
Have fun.
This is not
Good
good.
night. Sweet dreams.
This is not good.
As you guys are taken away by Rahadin and Valenta, you guys are taken up the same stairs that Jareth was taken up before, as you rise higher into the spires above Castle Ravenloft. Valenta kind of pulling Ryles along the way, kind of like a friend dragging their child, like a child dragging another child to a playground or something. Rahadin is behind them, but Valenta obviously knows the way. And we will fade out here tonight as you guys leave Bimothy in the company of Anastasia and Strahd back in the dining hall. And next week, we will come back and find ourselves in the guest suites.
Bimothy. The knight.
Did Bimothy just find his courage? Or did you just fail a charm save?
I will let you guys know a little bit that I actually am going to be leaving for a while in terms of this game because my schedule's changed for work. So,
We're losing
Ooh,
Bimothy
word.
for a little bit.
may or may not have been planned a little bit. So,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
I knew that Bimothy had to take a little bit of a exit stage left. We weren't sure exactly
Yeah.
which way it would turn, depending on how things. And he failed to save at the appropriate time.
Yeah, I was like, "Come on, Bimothy!" No, yeah, because I just found out earlier this week that my schedule's changing, and like it's gonna be very difficult for me to attend this game at least until probably sometime in November or December when like my work schedule will like hopefully the way my work works is like every day is constantly shifting and like I don't know my day-to-day schedule and often I end up working later in like the summer and fall than in the winter, but hopefully in the winter time I'll be able to rejoin because then my schedule will be like more normalized. But if any point in between I'm able to join, I'll try to, but I don't really know at this point in time. So
Don't worry, Bimothy. Nazoth will take this campaign so far off the rails that it will be like you never left.
no, I'll still be keeping up and watching the streams if you guys end up doing it. But don't.
You come back, we'll be at the exact same spot.
Yeah, we're just gonna spend the next
Rob,
like 2.5, 3
plan
months.
2 months of adventures inside Castle Ravenloft.
It's gonna be 2 months of me renovating my bar and grill. Is what it's gonna be.
Castle Ravenloft is so huge that you probably could spend 2 months. You're in. All right, so this is the main floor. There are, and you can see how big this floor is.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
We've seen like a fifth of it, if that.
Let's just say that there are over 5 floors in this thing. I'm not going to tell you exactly how many because I want that to be a secret. But there are a lot of floors. All right, Brian. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.